What's up, y'all? Kyle Hamilton here. I want to give a quick shout out to Lucas, Connor, and Ryan in the Week 0 podcast.
Running out of time, finally thrown, and it is gone! Touchdown, Tyrell Roberts! Hit backwards, up in the air, it's on the ground, it is down! It is over, and the Irish have knocked off number one Clemson! Herbert's got it. Stiff arm again, quarterback in the clear, inside the 10, a hat-trick, a touchdown from Justin Herbert.
Yeah, my computer's being slow again. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Week 0 podcast. Yeah, it's trying to run everything at the same time, and it's not being very happy with it. But this is the Week 0 podcast. I am your host, Connor. U.S. still undefeated versus England. We're like 5-0 at this point against them because a tie is a win in our books. Really, it should be actually because we were expected to like beat.
It's not a loss.
It's not a loss.
I mean, okay. They actually have never. I don't think they've ever beaten us in soccer. They've actually never beaten us.
Good.
We actually one of the biggest upsets in like World Cup history. We beat them in like the 50s, and it was like the Miracle on Ice before the Miracle on Ice, where the U.S. was just a bunch of semi-pros, and they were just all Michigan by 30 exactly.
Yes, sir.
To my left is Ryan. Bursting Trojans.
Bursting Trojans, baby.
Travel. Those Trojans will definitely break for you. They definitely.
Hey
will
man,
break
we're gonna be bursting.
That's why.
Trojans
Ryan. That's why you have a kid, obviously, because
Yep.
those Trojans broke for you.
Yeah.
Literally. Same thing with Lucas.
I would never allow a Trojan in my house. That's why I have a kid.
You gotta use the magnums instead.
Yes, sir.
Luke, and then of course we got Lucas Rising McKnight.
Rising
Rising I can't. Is that all it is? Rising.
You can't see the rest. No, it's rising.
No,
Falling. So like Cam Rising. Falling,
yeah, I can't see it, dude.
Yeah, I can see it.
Remember,
That's a bad joke.
we've already set this up that I can't see it because of the whole
border
thing. Oh yeah, so
it's a bad joke, but hey, you know.
Ryan, at this point, what you should do is you should make it as a background where it's just on the two sides of Lucas.
Well, you can't because I tried that. It does not work.
But I've seen podcasts where they have.
Wait, hold on. Actually, let me try that.
They might not use StreamYard.
No, they do. At least for GPS and for clickbait, they do. So
what did I just do?
I don't know what you did.
Oh yeah, it won't work because it'll just go over the top of us. I just realized that it won't work.
It's all good.
I've literally seen back. Whatever. Okay. But
there we go. See?
Yeah, so you can kind of have a background.
But either way, it's going to go over Lucas.
It's fine. We're good. Next time, I'll tell you what mine is. Okay, there you go. You put me over the.
But either way,
do that just for when he's calling out the names, and then put me back.
Exactly. Just so I can see shit. But there we go. We have a background. That way we actually have. It's not just a black screen. Hi, Ishii. Ishii's a fellow Tom Grassi moderator. She peeks in. Me and her.
Awesome.
So, yeah. She is a 49ers fan. And if I had to guess, are you a Ishii, are you a Michigan fan or are you a USC or UCLA fan? Because you're a 49ers fan. So I want to know. So we'll have to wait because, of course, we're a few seconds.
She's a Niner and a Michigan fan, huh?
Wow, that's a weird combination.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, how have you guys been doing? How you enjoying the game so far? Because there's been a few games today, obviously, and we've seen some
great games today. I mean, they've all been pretty good.
Hey, you know what? We all win when we don't have to watch Petras play quarterback, and we get to see Padilla out there for Iowa. So yeah, that's a win in my book.
That's a good point.
Also, Nebraska, one more win than they had last year.
Wow.
And
golf clap for Nebraska.
And to the getting Matt Rule, apparently, who has shown he can fix Temple and Baylor, so I'm sure there's going to be no issues there. But can't
Meanwhile,
fix an NFL team.
UCLA is losing to Cal.
Yeah, I'm watching. I just put that game on right now because the UNC game was boring me.
And Missouri upset Arkansas and is now bowl eligible.
Honestly, I think Missouri. I said this. Josh said I was crazy, but I think Missouri is going to be a really good team in the next couple years.
Brady Cook is legit, man.
He is a stud.
Anyways. Brady Cook is better than Drake May.
Yeah, she's a Michigan fan, so yeah, he's just like, if she's a Michigan fan, she's forgiven for being a 49ers fan. Yep, pretty much. Okay, so first thing, I know we were supposed to get into this, but I just quickly came up with this because we kind of talked about it briefly. I wanted your quick thoughts on this, the UVA VT game getting canceled.
I have a whole monologue on this. You guys can.
Do you want me to go first since I'm a VT fan?
Yeah, you guys can start if you want. I have a whole bit on this.
So,
Ryan, you can go first, and then I'll go, and then
I
have something to say about it.
So my thing is, I understand, and I'm not trying to offend anybody because, like I said, I'm like a very supportive person. With everything going on in the UVA community.
What's up, Brady?
What's up, man? So, like, rest in peace to all those three guys that lost their lives. It was, there was no reason for that. I hope that guy gets life in prison. I don't know if they do the death penalty in Virginia, but that should definitely be on the table for him. Either way, I understand the whole canceling the Coastal game because it's not like in terms of like the landscape of thing, what's that really going to do for either Coastal or UVA? You could say Coastal would probably be ranked right now. But either way, it doesn't really matter. I understand that was like the week of, and it was only a couple of days after the events of what happened. So I understand that getting canceled, and I'm not going to get upset about that. But when you have a game that has so much emotion and is so impactful in the state of Virginia that, Virginia and Virginia Tech is, this isn't like a game against a Wofford or a Coastal where it's like, it doesn't really matter. This game matters to so many people, and instead of canceling this game, you could have used this game as a way to, hey, you know what, we lost our fallen brothers. We're going to go out there and we're going to go beat the crap out of Virginia Tech to honor them. And it would have been a way for like the whole state of Virginia to come together and just come together as a community for what happened. Instead, you cancel this game, and not only does it suck for the seniors, but I know if I was playing on a team, because I actually played on a football team in high school, one of my teammates killed themselves during the season, and we had to go play a game that Friday. We still played because we wanted to play. So, and I know that those guys on the UVA team want to go play for their brothers. I just think it's more of a politically correct issue than anything. And I don't like it. I don't.
Okay, so for me, I think I feel for the Virginia Tech players that don't get to enjoy a senior day for themselves. And of course, same thing with the UVA players that didn't get to enjoy that because I think that Coastal game was going to be at Virginia, so I think that was their last home game as well, and that was canceled. So I feel for both of them. I think ultimately I'm fine with it because like you said, it wouldn't have had an impact on either of the teams rankings wise. If both of these teams were 5 and 6 and the winner has to make a bowl and the winner makes a bowl game, I feel like they would go for it. Or if both of them are fighting for somehow, if both of these teams were actually good and, we're fighting for potential, because like in, 2019, the winner of this game won the Coastal and played Clemson in the championship game. So if that was like at stake, then I understand playing it. But they're pretty much playing for bragging rights of the not worst team in Virginia, whoever wins this game, because because both these teams are probably the two worst teams in the FBS that are in the state of Virginia this year. Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech.
Liberty's worse than VT, obviously. So hey,
exactly. I mean, yeah. So, but I mean, yes. But at the same time, but I know we joke, but like really these two were two of the worst team. Were probably the two worst teams for the majority of the season. So, I understand not playing it. I also think that Virginia Tech going with what they've gone through in 2007, they understand how to get through this. They understand how important. Obviously, it was a lot different when the shooting that occurred in April, and they had 5 months to kind of heal and come back in September when they played East Carolina the first game of the season. So that's a little different. I understand, obviously, because you have more time to heal, but it was still a cathartic moment for the entire school when they got to play that game. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if UVA, if they had agreed to this, and both these teams were good, College Game Day could have been here if both these teams were at 500 or better. You know what I mean? Like something to honor UVA or something.
But the thing is also, it's like, I don't know, man. You gotta give some of those guys a chance to play. I mean, Utah is a perfect case. They lost 3 teammates in the span of one season.
Mm-hmm.
And they not only won for those guys, but if I remember correctly, they went to the Pac-12 title. So
didn't they win it last year?
They won, it was last year, and they won for those guys, and they're still honoring those guys. They put the stuff on the back of the helmet.
Wearing those special helmets.
Yeah, so I mean, there are ways to play through tragedy, and Utah is a big indicator of that. So I disagree.
It's the same, but it's the same. Yeah, but it's the same thing. It's obviously that happened last year, but that also it's a little different that it didn't have it happened throughout the season, and it was just like one at a time. It wasn't they lost multiple players towards the end of the season. Plus, Utah
I believe it was one. It was one during the off season, and then was it another one during the?
But Utah was still playing for something. They had a reason to keep playing. Neither of these teams, other than to honor them, which I understand doing, neither of them has a reason to keep playing. They're not bowl eligible. It's only for bragging rights within in a rivalry that's really not a rivalry because Virginia Tech has won 20 of the last 22 games. So if this was part of the pick'ems, I would have picked Virginia Tech anyway to win because just based on history. So it's not like, it's not like, out of spite or anything. It's just, it's a rivalry in word only. It's not really been a rivalry to begin for a long time. And it doesn't really hold merit. Most Virginia Tech fans are just like, give us the win now. And most UVA fans don't really care, it seems. They care more about basketball.
But I mean, if you're going to cancel the football game, why not cancel the Virginia basketball game? I mean,
they did.
They did? Okay.
They canceled the game. They had a home game against.
Well, they played against Baylor.
But that was a neutral site game. They had a home they had a home game, and then they were a neutral site game all the way out in Las Vegas. So they held a home. They had home. That shooting was like on a Sunday, and then the Monday was when the basketball game was played.
I just thought it looked like a bad look because they weren't going to cancel a ranked versus ranked matchup against Baylor.
No, but that was a neutral site game. I feel like that's they canceled the home game that Monday, but they then traveled out there, and I feel like that was more of a proper monetary commitment for that team to where they can't really back out, and that kind of them back in, especially in basketball, that kind of throws this because it's like a tournament, throws it off. You know what I mean? So I feel like they couldn't really back out of it for that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I don't think Virginia Tech's going to try and get another team because
it would make sense. For why didn't just schedule Coastal? Coastal's right there.
I mean, yeah, but they don't have another reason. Plus, you've already won a game against a team you weren't really expected to beat. Why risk losing another game and finish your season even like?
Well, didn't Coastal have to do that? Didn't Coastal have to do that with the whole BYU situation? Didn't they have to schedule that?
But that was week? Yeah, but that was because of COVID. That wasn't because of this. And they agreed to it very quickly. So, it's okay. Lucas, I know you said you had a whole monologue on this. Let's hear it.
Yeah, stewing a little bit over here in the corner, hearing all this. So my big thing about it, starting off with, I played the game of football for the better half of my life. I believe 13 years of my life. there is nothing that I cared about more in this world than playing ball. And if I were to be taken, and this is me, like obviously hindsight's crazy and all this stuff, but if I were to be taken tragically from something like this, there is nothing that would have been that I would have been so disappointed if my team gone out there and played the football game. Not just a football game. I get it that Virginia Tech has won so many games in this rivalry, so you can't call it much of a rivalry. But look at Washington and Oregon. I get it, they're better teams, but Oregon has dominated that rivalry between them since 98. Absolutely dominated them. I think they've won 20 of the last 22 or 23. So for you to call it not much of a rivalry just because of how lopsided it's been, it's still a rivalry. It's still a rivalry for these kids, and especially some of these kids.
Snow, Braden.
Yeah, I did see that, 30-27. Especially a rivalry for some of these kids that, I mean, a lot of the guys that play for Virginia, and I'm sure for Virginia Tech, are probably from the area. You know, they don't have great, far out pipelines. So they're from the area. They grew up with this rivalry. They grew up with these two teams playing each other every single year. I just think it's kind of a disservice to these players that have lost their lives. And now I know that's a little bit not very empathetic, I guess, for their parents, because I think that's the biggest reason. I mean, let's be honest. That's the biggest reason for all of this. That's the biggest reason why they're not playing.
Lucas,
the biggest reason why they've canceled both games.
I seen multiple Virginia players say that they wanted to play.
Yeah, this is the biggest reason why they've canceled these last two games. I get it, the Coastal game, like you said, it's not going to do anything for them. It's whatever. It's just a random team outside of the conference.
It was immediate.
It was
that was
right
5 days
after.
later.
Yeah, it was right after it happened. I get that. I understand that. But for a game like this, the only reason why they're canceling a game like this is because of the parents. So the parents don't have to go out there and now watch Virginia play Virginia Tech and, in my opinion, probably get blown out of the water by Virginia Tech, I think is how it would have ended up. And the parents didn't want to see that. However, it's a real disservice to the kids that lost their lives and the players, the best friends. The best friends of these kids. Like I'm in the same boat as you, Ryan. My senior year of high school, one of my best friends, my first friend that I had when I transferred schools, he actually brought me in. We were really good friends. He passed away right before the season started, and we didn't skip a beat. We went out there. We lost a couple games to start the year, but then we ended up going to the state semifinals, in his honor. So it was.
May I ask how he passed away?
Yeah, he drowned. He was rock hunting. You're rock hunting out there. So basically you go in real shallow water and you look for agates and opals and stuff, and up at a few hours away from where I live now. But he drowned one weekend, and absolutely devastating for us. But we went out there and we played hard. And it's the same thing with Spencer Webb this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he passed away, 2 weeks before the season started?
You guys didn't cancel your opener?
We went out there. We got destroyed by Georgia, but we still went out there in honor of Spencer Webb. And now we are one of the best teams in the Pac-12, one of the best teams in the country. And I think Spencer Webb, the whole thing and how good of a person he was, really pushed this team to get to where they are now. And so it's really hard for me to speak too much on it, just because it's it's a Virginia thing and it's these guys, and obviously I'm not a part of that and all this stuff. But we've all seen We Are Marshall.
Yep.
We know exactly how this is. We know exactly how this goes. They didn't want to play another season of football there. They were going to
shut the program down.
because of the parents that were upset, the parents that never wanted to see Marshall on the field again, all these things, but then they kept the program going. And now we look at Marshall today and, they're not a powerhouse, but they're
But look,
always,
they just beat Notre
pretty
Dame
good.
this
They
year.
beat Notre Dame this year. So, yeah, and they had great players since then. David Garrard and no, it was Byron Leftwich.
Byron Leftwich, which is broken with his broken ankle being carried down the field.
His broken ankle, and then Randy Moss, guys like that. So it's like, I think you got to just continue to play games, and yeah, it's not going to matter, but it's going to matter for these kids, and that's at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
And you know what makes me mad about it, Lucas, is
friends,
you know damn well that all this week, the coaches and the players are sitting there like, we want to go out there and we want to beat the crap out of Virginia Tech and win this game they wanted to play, because we see it all the time in the NFL and in college football. I can't remember exactly who it was, but I believe it was last week. There was a wide receiver I can't remember who it was. I was watching the game and they're like, oh yeah, his dad just passed away last night. And the coaches asked him if he didn't want to play today because it was like a couple hours turnaround, and he ended up shooting up and playing out of his mind. And I'm like,
it's like the Brett Favre game.
I'm reminded of Torrey Smith. His brother dies the morning before Sunday night game. Then he goes out and has like 10 catches, 120 something yards, and 2 touchdowns in a game in a win over the Patriots on Sunday Night Football.
We seen it with Sean Taylor.
Brett Favre game too.
We've seen it with Sean Taylor, man. I mean, it's a big thing. It's a big thing that these guys that are competitors, if they lose a brother, they don't just give up. They go out there and they play for them.
And to say I'm going to be honest with you, I can't say that I understand canceling this game at all.
I don't either.
I don't. I mean, I've lost people in my life. I've obviously, knock on wood, pray to God, all these things. I never lose a child of mine, but I will never understand this game being canceled. I will never understand it at all. And it sounds like it's almost just a cop out to get out of paying extra money to play this game. Because obviously any game costs money. Every college, pretty much the only thing they care about is money. And it's sad to say, but it just seems like it's kind of just like a way out of the season for both of these teams. And it's sad. It's really sad. But
how much do you think it was Virginia and for that? Who do you think was the more?
I don't think Virginia Tech was going to bounce. I don't think Virginia Tech.
I think it was UVA.
Cancel. Yeah,
UVA for sure. The dean probably tried to he just wanted to do the right thing, or the dean and the athletic director, they probably just wanted to do the right thing, and they thought this was the right thing to do, not knowing. I guarantee they didn't ask a single player on this team. I guarantee they didn't ask a single player.
They didn't. I don't know.
They just made the decision, and now we're not going to see Virginia Tech or Virginia end their season. They're both going to have 3 wins, and that's to call it not. Well, and think about it this way: to call it a game that doesn't matter. Watch the Arizona State game and tell me it didn't matter. Like, they put everything they had out there. Arizona.
Well, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. I'm saying that it outside of it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of college football,
right? You know what I mean? But I think that's part of the reason. You're right. You're 100% right. That's part of the reason why they're canceling this game is because they're both 3-win teams. But if you watch a game
if they're 5, like I said, if they were both 5 and 6, the ACC is gonna be like, we want you to try and, or if they both have 5 wins. UVA is 5 and 5, Virginia Tech is 5 and 6.
Right, but then again, they canceled the Coastal game, and you know what? That probably screwed up Coastal's chances of being in a New Year's Six bowl. Whether or not that probably would have got them into, over ahead of a UCF or a Tulane doesn't matter because we won't know. I mean, Coastal is a 1-loss team that is playing in the best non-Power 5 conference right now, and they're winning games, and now they're getting punished by the committee because they're not going to play at 12 games.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not saying it would have affected. It's not going to obviously affect UVA, but it's affecting Coastal. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's all we
Okay.
need to talk
But like
about.
I said,
we were on that for a long time.
I just wanted to say, like, not because me and Lucas are not saying that we're being insensitive to this topic at
No,
all.
absolutely.
We're just saying that we think that this is a difference between last week and this week, in terms of canceling games.
Football's not just a game for these kids, and I can
Yeah.
tell you
Lucas,
from
why does it sound like
experience.
you're smacking your mic or something?
That was my fault when I was just fucking with my mic again.
It's
It's so fun
Yeah,
because how the mic is. I like to like mess with it.
Yeah,
like,
and all we hear is just like loud
Sorry.
sprinkling and stuff. We literally can't hear anything other than that. Except we can hear you.
I'm
but
like
it's
I'm like Ricky Bobby after he wins, and I just like don't
like,
know
what
what
do I
to
do
do with
with
my
these?
hands.
that's why I know it's old school. I have a fidget spinner, or I'll shuffle a deck of cards. I'll just shuffle a deck of
Oh
cards.
yeah, that's not a bad idea. Anyways,
I mean, it was more so when I was growing up. I wouldn't pick at my skin and stuff. Try and pop my zits and stuff. So
But all
I
right,
still
best
do that.
and worst
I'll
thing you
just put a
saw.
football in my hands.
there you go. Okay, best and worst thing that we saw, other than what we were just talking about, since that's probably a worst thing that we saw.
I can go first. Best thing I saw, man, and this is a homer pick, but Oregon's defense stepped up this week. I mean, I haven't seen them play this well all season. Obviously, they've had a lot of blowouts this year, but man, they really, really stepped up against a really good Utah team. And it was really exciting to see because after the Washington game, it kind of seemed like all hope was lost, and we were probably going
It
to
seemed
have
like the arrow was out of the
game.
sails, at least in
It really did. And just to see that defense, I mean, Bo Nix obviously not at 100%, and that defense just fought and clawed all game, and I'd love to see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, the best thing I seen was the weather in South Bend, and the weather throughout college football. You know, people
The
like
snow coming in.
yes, man. The people in the Florida and California don't get to experience how actually beautiful watching a college football game in a blizzard is. It's miserable, like when it's freezing and cold and your team's not winning, but when your team's winning and you see that you can barely see anything but the gold on the gold helmets of Notre Dame in the snow. And there's just something about it, like watching a football game in the snow. And me playing football in Illinois, I loved those games. I love playing in like a slip and slide when it's raining and it's muddy, or like playing in the snow where you gotta have warmers on the sidelines. Like that's just
the best snow game ever, at least in college football. Army Navy 20. I want to say 17 or 18. They do their unique uniforms, and Army is in pure all white uniforms.
I remember this
in the snow, and
it.
it's the game is 14-13, but everyone was loving it on Twitter because of course this is the last game of the season. Everyone's loving it, and Navy loses on a false start penalty after making a 43-yard field goal, and then the 48-yard field goal gets pushed left. And for once, I have never seen anyone blame the kicker for that miss. They were all like, "Oh no, it was the false start or whatever it was."
I think we're gonna see some snow in Columbus.
Really?
I think we might see some snow.
See,
in
that's
Columbus.
one thing. I've wished we get to play. I wish we would have got to play USC in the snow, because those California boys wouldn't be able to handle it.
You might. Are you? No, you're playing in the.
Yeah, we're playing
in
at USC, man.
LA, huh? Yeah, it's good, dude. Last week, so where I live right now, it's been like roughly between like 28 and 40 is where I'm sitting.
Yeah,
but LA last
50.
week. LA last week was it was like 79. It was like 80. It's like, what?
Yeah, and it's weird because
That's so crazy.
They asked Marcus Freeman on SportsCenter, like, what's it like going to be like for your team when you guys fly out to California and have Thanksgiving there? He said, is it going to throw off the team a little bit going from 20 degrees in South Bend to 80 degrees and sunny? And they said, no, man, that's why we're having Thanksgiving in South Bend, and we're not going to get to LA until Friday. So, so but man, just like I said, snow in general in college football is such a beautiful thing. Such a beautiful thing.
It was a great game. Loved it. I love seeing it.
Yeah.
Especially now that the boy Hassan Haskins is a Tennessee Titan. Love it even more.
Returning kicks, man.
Yes, sir.
Dude,
He's slow as hell, but man, he breaks tackles.
Best thing I saw was Virginia Tech finally ending a 7-game losing streak. Goddamn.
Yes.
Longest streak since 1951.
Hey,
That's
boys,
tough.
first time since week 3 that all three of our teams won.
And it
Let's
was all
go.
because
No.
Virginia
We're
Tech-
forgetting about Josh.
Yeah. He can.
You probably could say for the up until about week 8 that 3 out of the 4 teams were winning games most weeks, and then Kentucky's like they lost.
Kentucky just fell off a cliff.
Yes.
They really did.
Ever since they fell off a cliff as badly as Will Levis's finger looked. Like his finger looked
sideways.
exactly. They just fell sideways. Okay, what's the worst thing that you guys saw?
Worst thing that I saw. The worst thing that I saw was probably. Trying to think. I'm gonna say probably just the lack of fight that I gotta make sure that I'm talking about the right week. Hold up. Go ahead, Ryan. I gotta make sure I'm talking about the right week. I keep getting the week before.
The worst thing I saw was Kansas reverting back to the ways of old Kansas.
I mean, what are they 6-5 now or something?
Yeah, they just got and I don't know what's going on with Kansas. Like I legitimately think they're a decent team. Like
they just extended Lance Leipold through 2029.
It's almost like Kansas is sitting there like, man, they're like coming to like a realization, guys. We're not meant to be 6-1. We're Kansas. We're meant to be get dog walked.
We're supposed to lose at least 5 straight games.
We're supposed to lose to Texas every single year. We're supposed to lose to a group of 5 team at least once a year. Like, and it's weird because Jalen Daniels, he looked god awful against Texas, and it's like, I wonder if that injury really messed him up because he was missing really like missing wide open guys, not getting enough air on the ball, and it almost makes me wonder if Lance Leipold it almost makes me if Lance Leipold was right and not, even though he was cleared, keeping Jason Bean out there.
Well, didn't he suffer? Wasn't his injury a shoulder?
It was a same injury that Tyler Buckner had, Tyler Buckner's been out.
Non-throwing or to his throwing?
Throwing shoulder. Same shoulder as Buckner.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
And it's weird because when they said, he could come back in a month, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense that him and Tyler Buckner have the same injury. And Buckner's lucky to be back if we get to a bowl game. So it almost doesn't make any sense. And I almost wonder
I think Leipold tried to bring him back too quickly to try and keep the momentum that they had starting off. What were they, 5-0?
He's been cleared. Jalen Daniels has been cleared to play the last couple of weeks, and he's kept him on the bench. So, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. He's not going to let us know. They just extended him through 2029, which means within about 2 years he's going to be out of there and he'll go to Auburn or some shit.
Watch him go to Texas A&M.
Right.
And then Jimbo Fisher goes to Kansas.
No, Jimbo goes to VT. Goes back to the ACC.
He'll get you a number 1 ranked recruiting class at VT, but he won't win you any games.
Well, I'll at this point I'll take an 8-4 season. I'll take 8-4 at this point.
I was thinking about it. I think that Auburn should. I think that Auburn should pursue Chip Kelly. Anyways,
I actually like that.
I'll take. That's something we should. That's something we need to do. We should also do going forward. We should do like our hottest hot. We should do like our hottest hot take every week or something about a team or something.
I like that. So my worst thing that I saw all weekend, JJ McCarthy in the Michigan offense after Blake Corum got hurt in the first half. And I'm sorry. to our man.
UNC lost to Iowa State.
What? Oh, wow.
31 points from Caleb Grill. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you were talking about it. Wow.
But no, what were you going to say? Sorry about
my buddy. No, yeah, just how bad. Yeah, I'm sorry for the disrespect, but just how bad JJ McCarthy in this offense was after losing Blake Corum. Like it just and
well, I was trying to tell you
it'd be like the Titans offense without Derrick Henry, probably.
I will take this. Lucas, I want you to give me credit,
don't disrespect
man, because I'm the only one that's been saying all year that if they don't have Blake Corum and they can't run the ball, Michigan is an above-average team at best.
I think Lucas, weren't you kind of agreeing with that a little bit, or I can't remember?
I mean, here's the thing though. If and his name is I'm totally spacing it. It's Edwards,
backup,
right?
Yeah, Edwards.
Mm-hmm. He's good. I think he can actually. He's like Hassan Haskins was for Blake Corum last year. So they can do well with just him. But with both of them out, that offense looks so god awful. I mean, JJ McCarthy, he's not my bummer this week, but he was 18 for 34 passing in this game. He was missing wide open players at the end of this game.
Lucas,
it was terrible.
Who would you rather have, JJ McCarthy or Drew Pine?
I'll take Cade McNamara over
both of them.
Okay. It was terrible.
Yeah.
To me, it's like Notre Dame and Michigan are the same team. Michigan just beat the Cupcakes on their schedule and didn't play Ohio State yet. And the fact and Michigan without their running backs is not very good, and Notre Dame without their O-line is not very good. So it's like this; they're the same team, basically.
I think that McCarthy can be good. I really do. But he just played really bad at the end of that game, and I get it. I understand it. I mean, look at how Oregon's offense was. I'm bringing it back to the Ducks, but Oregon's offense was one of the best offenses in the country. But when Bo Nix couldn't run the ball, things completely changed, and we could only put 20 points on the board. So, like, it's the same thing with Michigan, where it's like now their offense has to completely change. And I'm sorry, but that kid CJ Stokes is not it.
He's not it.
Okay. That's what I was getting confused about. I was like, you're talking about CJ Stokes. I'm like, are you spelling Stroud wrong or something? Because I didn't know who the hell that was.
Yeah, he's so bad.
Stokes is bad. I'm sorry. Maybe he'll be good
the backup
eventually.
QB for Michigan or something?
No,
he's the number 3 running back. Yeah.
Oh, I was so confused. I was like, what the hell are you guys talking about?
But I also think we need to give credit to Illinois because they realistically probably should have won that game. They honestly
I can't give credit to them because I think it would have been a blowout if Blake Corum played that whole game.
They held him to
He already had
points.
He had 108 yards and a touchdown in the first half.
But so
he only
Chase
had
Brown
one
was
carry
going
for
off
5
too.
yards.
Chase
He
Brown
only
had
had
2
one
touchdowns.
carry. He only had one carry for 5 yards in the second half. What am I hearing?
But you're not going to give Chase Brown credit? I mean, he had 2 touchdowns against Michigan.
What am I hearing?
What do you mean? I'm not hearing anything.
I'm not hearing anything either.
Oh. No, it was
Was it someone on your end playing?
I had ESPN open, and ESPN always plays like random clips.
Oh,
I was hearing the field goal get made in the Michigan game. I was like, "What's happening?"
But no.
Okay. Let's move on. Please.
Okay.
Chase Brown. Okay, I'm ending it this way. Chase Brown had 140 yards, 2 touchdowns in the whole game. Blake Corum had 1 touchdown, 108 yards in the first half. I'm sorry, Blake Corum is better, and I'm just going to put it that way.
Oh, come on,
I'm just gonna
man.
keep it there.
He has a better O-line. Come on, man.
Look at what he says though. Chase Brown on the third quarter.
You got to look at what CJ Stokes did with that better O-line. I'm just saying.
Okay. The worst thing I saw was just Maryland being unable to close out against Ohio State. I'll say Tua Tagovailoa played better than C.J. Stroud. Actually, statistically, he actually definitely did play better.
C.J. Stroud actually didn't have that good. I mean, he had a okay.
I have it
He's
here
mid.
actually.
He should. I don't think he should go to New York.
C.J. Stroud.
Stroud,
right
18 of 30, 241 yards and a touchdown. Tua Leah, 26 of 36, 293 and 2 touchdowns.
I'm honestly starting to wonder if C.J. Stroud is only as good as his wide receivers take him.
100%.
Because
I totally agree. Because
look at their schedule. He played against Notre Dame and had his worst game of his career against Notre Dame. Okay, then he goes out and he plays. He didn't even have that good of a game against freaking Toledo, who's okay. And then he goes out and he plays Maryland, and the only reason they really won that game is because of Mayan Williams in the first half, and that true freshman running back that came in for him was actually pretty decent. So other than that, I mean, C.J. Stroud really didn't do that much. So
UNC shanked a 30-yard or 30-something yard field goal.
UCLA?
Here's a good one for you.
UNC shanked a field goal that would have tied the game in second overtime.
See, I agree with this. Never send a Terrapin to do a Wolverine's job.
That's true. UCLA just missed on a 4th and 2, so California has the ball with 2 minutes left, down 7.
I told y'all Cal was a good team.
I'm telling you, Phil or whatever your name is, I'm calling it right now. A Wolverine will not close it out. I'll take Ohio State at home all day, every day.
All right, so Connor, go ahead with your worst thing so we can.
I already said it was Maryland. It was just Maryland being able to close it off. Okay.
All right.
Hey, who was the last team to beat Ohio State at the Horseshoe?
Oh.
Virginia Tech? No, Oregon.
Go Ducks, baby.
Go Ducks, baby.
Virginia Tech did it too in 2014.
In 2014.
At 2013 in one 14 in one of the most random.
Hey, we couldn't beat them that year, so I guess I'll give you something.
All right.
They beat the snot out of us.
Like that? Okay, well, we already can tell Cincinnati, Ole Miss, and probably UNC will drop out.
I don't think UNC will.
That's only their second loss, so probably not. Ole Miss and Cincinnati will. Look at that. Louisville is 25th, and we were mocking them earlier in the season, saying they sucked and everything, and that's got to have it.
Hey, you know what? They beat.
We all thought Satterfield was going to get fired, and now here they are.
Bro, they beat Florida State. Like they beat Florida State, and it wasn't even close. So
last week?
No, like early in the season.
Last week they beat NC State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, do you have any problem with the top 4?
Yes.
You still don't think TCU? You think LSU should be there instead of TCU?
No, I think TCU should be 3, and I think Michigan should be 4.
They both struggled.
I think
they both struggled.
I feel like I would have been fine with if you put TCU 2 and just drop them each down 1 for struggling. Struggling.
Wait, TCU 2? What?
No.
And Ohio State drops to 3 for struggling.
Ohio State played a much better team than TCU did. Let's get that straight right.
Wait, Baylor and Maryland are pretty similar.
I think Maryland's a better team.
Toledo
when their offense is rolling,
0 against Penn State.
When their offense is rolling, they're good. 4th and 6, Cal gets it like 12 yards, and he fumbled. What an idiot!
Did UCLA get it?
Yeah. Minute 30 left. Cal.
Damn you, Cal!
Game over.
Oh my God, no!
But dude, Oregon fans wanted Wilcox, the Cal coach, as their new head coach instead of Lanning. It's hilarious. Peanut punch.
I do love a willing cock. So.
Right? What? Hold up. Pause. Don't ever say that again.
Hold up.
No,
don't worry. Whatever her name is not around to hear me say that.
I do have a few issues with this whole thing. Top 4, yes, I think TCU should jump Michigan. The biggest reason being is because Michigan may or may not be without their 2 best players. Honestly, they may or may not be without their 2 best players. So I think you could jump them. Not that it's going to matter in the end. My biggest issue with this whole thing, there's 2 huge issues. 1, I think Oregon is better than Alabama. 2, USC should be 5. LSU should be 6. There is no reason why you have a 2-loss LSU team above.
You're basically
a 1-loss
rewarding
USC.
LSU for beating up on UAB. That is basically what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's insane. And USC beat a ranked UCLA team.
Now, does it matter? It doesn't matter if somehow Notre Dame beats USC. Then no, it doesn't really matter. But right now,
I don't think. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't matter anyways. LSU is going to get handled
by Georgia
and the SEC. They're going to get handled in the SEC title. It doesn't really make a difference. But I just don't like.
I want them to
make it.
Alabama has no
to make it make sense. I think Oregon is better than Clemson and Bama. I understand why Clemson is ahead because they're only a 1-loss team, but having Bama there after losing, I get it, to Tennessee and LSU. I kind of get that. Those are 2 big losses. Well, Oregon lost to the number 13 team and the number 1 team. So how are they 2 spots ahead? I don't
The only
get that,
thing I would say is, kind of go with what you said. I don't understand the Clemson hate. I think it's more of like people trying to devalue the fact that Notre Dame actually beat a decent team.
Well, the problem is, Ryan, Notre Dame was the only good team that they played all year.
Well, they're playing South Carolina, who just beat Tennessee.
Yeah, and
South Carolina's bad, though, man.
And South Carolina has already has 7 wins. They're going to fall right back into being mediocre.
The thing is that I don't like is I don't care if you've had a cupcake schedule. Michigan, outside of Illinois and Penn State, has had a cupcake schedule. And to
Maryland
but they were able to handle their tough games that they played.
Clemson has too.
Clemson didn't.
Who they haven't struggled against anybody but Syracuse.
And Notre Dame, who they lost to. Notre Dame's the best team that they played. Look at who in the top 25. If you look at the top 25 right now, what teams have they played this year?
Well, NC State is probably going to be ranked, but outside Notre Dame, they haven't. But who has Michigan beaten outside of?
Clemson's played Florida State.
Oh, and they beat Louisville. They beat Louisville too.
And they beat Louisville, and
they beat them comfortably. It's not like they struggled.
And they'll play a top 25 UNC in the champion.
So it's not like they've struggled against every team they play. Like Michigan, they've struggled against a lot of teams they have no business struggling with, and Clemson has not. They've handled business against everybody on their schedule besides Syracuse and Notre Dame.
Wake Forest.
And Wake Forest. But I think you got to get – I wish the committee would give 1-loss teams the credit that they deserve over 2-loss teams. I don't care.
They struggled against Clemson or Florida State, but yeah.
So no, they didn't. I thought they blew out Florida State.
They beat them by 7.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's now a top.
No, they
25.
beat them by 6 actually.
But
that's
anyway,
now a number 16 ranked Florida State team. So that.
But I mean, I would have. So this is what I would do. You leave the top 4 alone because everybody besides Georgia struggled with their matchups. So I don't think you can really.
Georgia struggled too, actually. If you want to be honest.
Kentucky.
They only beat Kentucky by 10, and Kentucky had chances at the end of that game. They just couldn't.
But I would have the top 4 the same. I would slide up USC to 5. I'd put Clemson at 6. I'd probably put Oregon at 7. Then LSU at 8 and Alabama at 9. And you could honestly probably interchange Tennessee and Alabama and just put Tennessee at 9 just because of the head-to-head. That's what I would have. Do you guys have any issues with that? I mean,
I don't disagree with that because I do think LSU is a really good team, and I think they have come on later in the season. But yeah, they really haven't beat anybody worth a shit. I mean, they beat Bama. Yeah, that's great.
But they only beat them on a last-second 2-point conversion.
Which is, a win's a win. But I mean, Bama hasn't I mean, they lost to Tennessee, obviously losing to LSU. They just can't put together. I just don't see their wins. That's the big thing about Bama for me, is they don't have the wins. They beat
their best win is
Miss.
Mississippi,
Their best win is Ole Miss,
and they're going to be unranked.
and they're not going to be ranked next week.
Normally it would have been. They would have been. They would be normally.
Well, they beat Texas, but I mean,
Texas would probably be.
Yeah.
Texas would
but
be.
they didn't have Quinn
about
Ewers
20 or
either.
so.
If they have Quinn Ewers, they probably win that game.
Texas for sure wins that game, and we all know it. But yeah, that's my thing about Bama is they just don't have any solid wins.
It's just
look at everybody else.
It's
in the
only
top
because
10.
they're getting the benefit of the doubt because they're Bama. That is literally the only
100%.
reason.
But you look at everybody else in the top 10, they all have solid wins. I mean, Tennessee obviously beat Bama, beat LSU. You look at Oregon, they beat Utah. They beat UCLA. Obviously, UCLA just barely squeaked out a win, but they beat Utah. They beat UCLA, both ranked in the top 25, maybe top 17, 16 after next week. Clemson,
I would say,
like we talked about it, they beat Florida State. They beat Louisville. Those are 2 top 25 wins. Bama, their only top 25 win
will be Texas.
Isn't going to be is going to be Texas. USC, I struggle with USC a little bit because their only top 25 win is against UCLA.
Oregon State.
And then Oregon State. So there's 2 right there. LSU, their 2 top 25 wins.
Alabama and we can't give them Ole Miss anymore.
Only one.
Alabama.
So really, you're right. I mean, those 2 teams shouldn't be as high as they are, but this SEC bias that the committee is obsessed with.
The fact that the SEC is going to take over the New Year's Six is kind of bullshit to me because I honestly think the SEC West has been down this year. I mean, it's not as good as what it has been in years past.
Because I mean, there's Bama, and who else is even close to being?
I don't think Alabama and LSU, and that's basically it.
Oh right.
And I gotta say,
I was about to ask, is there anyone else ranked other than Bama?
And also, another thing that's really quick, Lucas, I did want to say, I think Washington is better than Penn State. I think Washington is a top 10 team. I understand their losses are bad. Yeah. I could probably justify putting Washington out of Bama because they have a better win than Alabama.
I don't know if I would go that far just because that ASU win or loss was really, really bad. But I mean, I just wish we could. It would make sense. I just wish it would make sense. And also, I'm going to say, as being a West Coast, a bit of a West Coast homer myself and the Pac-12 homer, give the Pac-12 way more respect after this season. I expect so much more respect for the Pac-12.
Yes.
We have half our conference ranked right now.
I would argue the Pac-12 is better conference than the SEC, Lucas, this year. Top to bottom?
I'm sorry. I've been saying this for a couple years now because I think top to bottom Pac-12 is a better conference. I think the SEC is very, very top heavy, and they win natties because they only have 2 teams that are really good every single year, and they're obviously the best.
So and you know what? Every year. One thing, Lucas, and if you notice, if you go down the line on this rankings, there's the consistent issue I've had with this committee is they value brand over head-to-head wins. The fact that Tennessee beat Bama and is 3 spots behind them is bullshit. The fact that, LSU lost to Tennessee and there's 5 spots difference, bullshit.
When LSU's best win is against a team that Tennessee also destroyed.
Yes, I mean it's not
not destroyed, but you know.
And you know that Tennessee loss for LSU getting dog walked by 4 touchdowns looks even worse now that Tennessee got dog walked by South Carolina. Mm-hmm. So but that's the thing is this year's committee especially, and I've actually looking back, the previous committees they actually did a really good job with valuing head to head and wins and losses. This committee, it just seems like it's blatantly, oh, you're in the SEC, you're Alabama, you're LSU. Hey,
Yeah.
you're going to get a couple more spots than everybody else. And it's
What I-
honestly crap.
What
Okay,
I will say
guys,
is
We've
we're
been on
gonna-
this for what?
I'm
We need
sorry.
to move on.
I do have one more thing. I will say I respect this committee for giving Oregon some respect this year, and maybe it's because Bo Nix gave us a little bit of that SEC bias on his way over here. But I mean, the fact that we didn't, I don't get it, because we get dog walked by number 1 Georgia, clear best team in the country, and we
fall
dropped
out of the
we
top
dropped
25.
from like, I think we were like 13 or something like that, and we drop out of the top 25. We lose to Washington, and we dropped like 3 spots, and then now we're back up into the top 10. And realistically,
You still have
I
a
think
shot.
we still have a shot.
You still got a shot.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right now. I
If
think we still got
LSU has a
but
shot, Oregon has a shot.
I'm just gonna leave that
But
there.
you know what? But Lucas, I don't think they're really valuing Oregon, to be honest, because I think Oregon is better than all 4 teams ahead of them. I mean, if I'm being legitimately honest, I think Oregon would beat all 4 of those teams.
I don't disagree. We're gonna get to see him play USC in a few weeks.
Okay, guys, we've been at it. We need to move on.
Hey, you know what?
I think we were talking about this so long that Phil left. So
Phil.
we're stunners and bummers. Okay, let's get through this real quick. Who is your? Let's go with the bummer. Let's go with our worst player first, or coach.
Bummer of the week. Okay, I can start. So
Yep.
my bummer of the week is. Hold up. I got another video from ESPN.
I was.
My
like a drum roll.
no, my bummer of the week is Cam Rising.
Ooh.
21 for 38, 170 yards, which to put that into perspective, Oregon is averaging this year, giving up, I believe, 230 yards per game through the air. So only 170 yards from Cam Rising, 3 interceptions and no touchdowns. Probably his worst game that he has had with the Utes. And it was against an Oregon defense that obviously got thrashed against Washington the week previous. So Cam Rising, maybe this makes him come back next year, which I don't want to see because I don't want Utah to be good anymore. But maybe it makes him come back, and maybe.
Well, I
Utah's
don't think
gonna be
he's
good
even
again.
projected to be a really highly drafted guy, so I'd assume he probably would.
Yeah, I mean after that.
Hey, watch
game,
him and
I
Bo
would.
Nix come back. Let's just run it
Oh
back,
my
man.
god, dude! I
Run
hope
it
Bo Nix
back.
comes back.
But yeah, so are we doing bummers first then?
Yes, we're doing
Yep,
bummers
okay.
first.
So my bummer of the week is going to be Jalen Daniels. May not all be his fault, but I had high hopes for this kid. He goes down with that horrible injury against TCU, a game that they probably should have won.
Who is it?
Jalen Daniels, the quarterback from
Okay.
Kansas.
I got you.
And I really still am high on him. I think that injury just kind of messed him up. But to play as poorly as he did against a Texas team that, while they're a top 25 team, they have some questionable losses. So, yeah, that's my bummer of the week.
Okay, mine is Spencer Sanders, Oklahoma State quarterback, in a 28-13 loss in a game that really didn't feel even as close as that score indicates. He was 36 of 67. He had 67 pass attempts for 381 yards. What?
67 passes?
Attempts. He played 36 for 381 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions.
Oh, God.
He had a QBR of 21. So, yeah. Yeah, Oklahoma State has had this. I just noticed the last 5. It's been loss, win, loss, win, loss. They've been rotating wins and losses. So yeah.
So their next game is a win.
That reminds me of the Big 12 title game last year where he threw 4 picks.
It reminds me of the Notre Dame game in the Fiesta Bowl where he threw a couple and then fumbled 2 balls, and we still lost.
So awesome.
Sorry, that's funny.
But all right, stunners, Lucas.
All right, so I actually have 2 stunners, as I told you guys before. Stunner of this week being John Marshall, linebacker for the Navy midshipmen. He's a senior this year. This week he had 10 total tackles.
Damn the torpedoes.
Yes, sir.
Damn the torpedoes.
He had 10 tackles, 10 total tackles in this game, 4 sacks, as well as a forced fumble on the season. And they beat number 20 UCF. So that was, real big game. Real big game for him. 10 sacks on the season as a linebacker is pretty crazy as well, to add that.
All AAC linebacker, I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, he's actually tied. Per ESPN, it says he's tied for 3rd in the country in sacks at 10.5. So
for any player?
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Wow.
Pretty impressive for him. My other guy, have to mention it. We're gonna call this the Week 0 Player of the Week,
which is something we discussed before, and we plan on continuing next year as our single player that we all think was the best overall.
Yes, and that's the man, the myth, the legend, Spencer Rattler. The locker room cancer that is Spencer Rattler. Yes, the no-look pass, Spencer Rattler.
The wannabe Patrick Mahomes, Spencer Rattler.
Yes, had the easily, by far, the game of his career. He came into this game with only 8 touchdown passes.
That's a Russell Wilson numbers.
He came out of it.
That's better than Russell Wilson. He's come out with more touchdowns than Russell Wilson has bathrooms.
Yes. He came into this game with 8 touchdown passes, and he ended it with 14. So, that's pretty incredible. And not only that, but 81.1 completion percentage with over 35 pass attempts is incredible.
And also, he threw so many touchdowns that they ran out of fireworks.
Yes, that is also true. He was 30 for 37.
That's a TCU with Jared Boyk Boykin as their quarterback.
I forgot his name. First name. Trayvon Boykin.
Or something.
Yeah,
Trayvon. I remember that was a story a few times when TCU ran out of fireworks.
30 for 37, 438 yards through the air, 6 touchdowns. He also had actually 16 yards rushing, which for Spencer Rattler, I'm telling you right now on the season, is impressive because he usually averages negative yards.
That's his Lamar Jackson. This is his Lamar Jackson game right there with those rushing yards.
He usually has negative yards because of sacks. And yeah, impressive, really impressive game for him. And he, obviously looks to continue that against Clemson next week.
Hey, you know what? Also, side note, rest in peace, Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, sad, man. It's really
sad. You know what? The only good thing that comes out of that is because of that injury. He'll
come back again
we might get to see Hendon Hooker next year.
He'll be a 26-year-old.
He might come back. He might come back next year and not go to the NFL.
Does he have a year of eligibility?
Yeah, he has an extra year. The COVID year. Wow. And I think he can also apply for an injury red shirt.
He was no, he couldn't.
He couldn't? I thought
too late.
Too late
in the season. So his freshman year was in 2019.
Yeah, I believe 2018, 2019.
That would only make him and he's 25.
No, he's a junior. He's a junior. So yeah,
he's a senior. Freshman year, so he redshirted in 2018, and then he played in 2019, played in 2020. So he would be a redshirt senior. Yeah.
So yeah, but he's got one more. Yeah, because of the COVID year. So he'll have one more year.
How the hell is he 20?
Damn.
What?
I'm just looking at his stats.
How is he 25 though? That math doesn't make sense.
He could have been 19 when he was a redshirt freshman.
So what were his final stats for the season? One.
So
I'm gonna say one. I'm gonna guess one interception.
2.
Fine. Close enough.
So he has in his last 2 seasons. I'm just gonna say his last 2 seasons, 58 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in 2 seasons. Which is
Virginia Tech thought that they should
impressive.
start Braxton Burmeister over him.
Yeah,
Justin Fuente should be flogged and quartered because of this. It's just wow.
Yeah, and very, very impressive. And that's just passing. I mean, rushing is really good. But yeah, sad for him.
But hey, you know what? If we get another year of Hendon Hooker because of that, I mean, I'm not all opposed to that, man.
I'd be okay with it.
Hey, you know what? If he comes back next year,
it'll make me happy for something other than Virginia Tech football.
I just want my favorite hooker back for another year.
Yes, sir.
And now
favorite hooker from Greensboro, North Carolina.
And I don't get to play. Was it 2024 they were saying now instead of 2023 for NCAA football?
Yeah, 2024.
Yes.
I don't get to actually have Virginia Tech win a national championship for 2 more years. Damn
Yeah,
it!
you gotta wait.
I'm willing to pay for that game.
I actually am so mad that they canceled that. I don't get the whole point of canceling it. They've had over 3 years.
You just gotta buy. All you gotta do, and it sucks because you don't get the real rosters. Well, all you gotta do is go buy yourself an Xbox 360, pay $140 for the disc, and I mean that's what I do.
You pay for.
I got my 360.
You pay about $50 for the Xbox 360. You pay triple that for the game itself. I'm guessing.
For my disc.
Hey, I
NCAA
luckily
14,
I got mine for $10 because it was on. It was like 2016 at GameStop.
Yes,
I got it for $10.
I pre-ordered mine the year that it came out. Pre-ordered it, and obviously got it for $60, whatever. And then the disc scratched in like 2017 and was broken. So then I had to buy another one for $140.
The thing that sucks is my PS3 that I play it on. I don't know if it's busted or whatever, but it won't connect to Wi-Fi. Even if I put an Ethernet cord into it, it doesn't sense it. So
Why do you need Wi-Fi?
Because I wanted to do online.
Servers are down.
Oh, okay.
Can't do it anymore.
That's probably okay. Do we all do our stunners?
I didn't do my stunner. Did Lucas do his
wasting
stunner?
fucking time here. Hurry the
All right,
fuck
anyway.
up.
My stunner is Benjamin Morrison, true freshman corner for Notre Dame, 6 INTs. First Notre Dame true freshman corner to ever do that. And he's only been a starter for the last 3 games. So 6 INTs in basically 3 games.
Damn. Impressive,
Cool.
Impressive.
Awesome.
Freeman said he's the next Ahmad Gardner. So
Surprise team. Let's get this shit on the road.
Why do I not see my surprise team?
I'll go ahead while Lucas waits. My surprise team is the Charlotte 49ers. The team we had on our $1 ticket game last week.
They did get that one.
They got the dub. So
Is that their first win of the season?
It's that 3rd win. So they're 3-9. They're the best 49ers in football.
I was about to say, yep.
The best 49ers. I had
Hey, don't forget, man, the San Francisco 49ers lost to the Broncos. Think about that.
That is true.
Is that this year?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
What?
You forgot that?
When?
The Broncos
10-11.
The Broncos beat the 49ers this year.
10-11.
Oh my God! Oh right, he stepped out of bounds through the. He stepped out of the back of his threw a pick after a safety. I forgot about that play. Oh my God!
My surprise team of this week. There's a couple teams that I could have gone with, but I'm gonna go with. I gotta go with Vandy. I mean,
yes.
31-24 over the Gators. I believe Vandy's now 5-6. Got to beat Tennessee this week to become bowl eligible. Yeah.
Now that
Commodores,
Hendon,
baby.
Hey, you know what?
now that Hendon Hooker isn't playing, I kind of want that.
Lucas, our boy Mike
I do.
Wright. Our boy Mike Wright is legit, man. They are 5-1 when
Been
Mike
saying
Wright
it
is
all
their
year.
starter. Bro, they would. You know how good the record would be if they would have started Mike Wright the rest of the year instead of benching him.
Maybe
Been
like
saying it
maybe like
all
10 and
year.
maybe like 10-1.
Bro, he is really. I'm not even just saying this to joke. He is a really good effing quarterback.
He is. He's a stud. He's one of my stunners for 1 week.
Okay.
But yeah, go ahead, Connor. Surprise team.
And mine is
Texas is back, folks.
Not this time. You're
Texas is back because they finally beat Kansas.
No. Texas is on the way to
being back. Well, they also won today, beating Baylor. So they're 8-4 now.
Yep.
4? Yeah, 8-4.
Yep.
So yeah.
Hey, and still have a chance at the Big 12 title.
They need Kansas State
loses.
Do you need Kansas State to lose?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that way you get a Texas TCU rematch in the Big 12 title. And Lucas will
Nice.
still somehow take Texas.
Probably.
They only lost by 7. You know, I didn't watch this game. I didn't watch this game at all. But when Connor started talking shit and he was like saying all this stuff about how TCU dominated, I looked at the score.
I didn't say they dominated.
No, Lucas. They did dominate. The score was 17-3 with like.
Throw it back.
Listen, there was 4 minutes left in the game, and Max Duggan fumbled the ball for Texas to return it for a touchdown. Texas had no offense. They had 3 offensive points, which was a field goal. Quinn Ewers did nothing offensively. Neither did Bijan Robinson.
TCU is pretenders.
Lucas is so bothered.
And he was saying earlier that TCU should be number 3 in the country because of how bad.
Because Michigan looks like
Dog food.
Presbyterian without Blake Corum.
That's a fate I would wish upon nobody other than I wouldn't even wish that upon my worst rival to be as bad as Presbyterian.
Right?
As Presbyterian was last year. Oh, wait, how? Okay, we need to check that.
I was going to say,
How
speaking of Presbyterian, let's see what their record is right now. Oh my God, they're 1-11. They're 1-11.
You're joking.
I swear. No, 1-10. They only played.
The only game
games.
they lost a game 63-0 to Austin P.
They beat
Perry.
Virginia Lynchburg Dragons. That was their only win, and they won.
They
by
lost to They lost to Morehead State, 14-10.
So they didn't get Morehead?
No, they did not get Morehead. They lost to the worst loss.
Who was
they had
that
summer two.
quarterback?
They lost to WCU. I don't know what that is. 77-21.
They lost to Austin P 63-0. Holy
Yeah, I
crap.
saw that.
Yeah, Presbyterian's bad, man. Hey, our boys Southern Miss. They need one more.
They need one more. Hey, speaking of Presbyterian, didn't they fire that coach that never punts last year?
Yes. No, he stepped down. They didn't fire him.
Clearly, they brought on his protege that also probably never punted either.
All right, so who's our meme team of the week, Lucas?
My meme team of the week, as I look to see a Presbyterian punts.
While you do that, mine is Ole Miss. Both this week. Did they lose today as well?
Yeah, they lost yesterday.
So they're gonna be my double meme team because the lane trend, is on its way out. And honestly,
hey, you know what? I guess he had a meeting with his team today and said that he has no plans to leave Ole Miss.
Yeah, no, he's gonna pull a Bobby Petrino. He's gonna leave a note in their locker rooms before the bowl game saying he's gone.
No, he'll pull a Nick Saban and he'll go be the head coach at Auburn for like a day and then leave and resign and then go back to Ole Miss.
Don't you mean Bill Belichick for the Jets?
Oh yeah, Bill Belichick.
Presbyterian does indeed punt.
They do.
Wow, we so needed to know that they punt.
Yes, they do.
the world was going to end if we did it in the next 5 seconds if we didn't know that.
The real question is, do
Now
they
we
kick
know.
field goals?
All right. I mean, you're play that game.
Okay, Ryan, while he looks that up, you
I can't look at the first game because they didn't score. So
Ryan, what's your meme team?
My meme team of the week is North Carolina for losing to Georgia Tech. That's what my meme team is. Mainly Josh Downs.
And then you can have him again for this week for losing that game versus.
Man, Drake May.
They can field goals.
Nice. That's good. They actually decide to kind of play like football and use a foot for a second. Meanwhile, Ryan is dying over here. Jesus.
Drake May is the biggest fraud in college football. Oh man.
Yeah. So, okay, my meme team of the week. Connor picked Ole Miss already.
Yep.
Shit.
My
My meme team of the week. Yeah. I'm gonna say. Honestly, my meme team of the week is Baylor for choking that game so hard. Because
who'd they lose to?
TCU.
These idiots.
This
idiot, Sonny Dykes. No, hear me out. This idiot, Sonny Dykes, decides to run the ball with like 18 seconds left in the game with no timeouts. And they manage. Okay, I'm sorry. If I'm BYU, I'm telling you this right now. If I'm BYU, if I'm a player, defensive player for BYU, and it's the time's running down, they have no timeouts. I'm playing the number 4 team for Baylor, yes. Time's running down, no timeouts, playing the number 4 team in the country. I'm holding the shit out of somebody so they can't get off the field in hopes that they don't see it. Because if they see it, then, I mean, delay game, whatever, they're going to have another play. Who cares? They're going to kick it anyways.
What, are you going to hold somebody down for 15 seconds?
I mean, they kicked it with like 5-6 seconds left.
Hey, they got their field goal ticker out there pretty quick.
All you have to do is sit out there in a pile or something, just like keep piling on them, or get your boys to get like something.
You're on top of someone, you get off them really slowly.
Yeah,
something. Could have done anything to disrupt it, but no, they didn't care and they let it happen. It was a perfect field goal, and TCU squeaks out another bullshit game.
Meanwhile, Lucas is over there seething in Redmond, Oregon, just sitting on his couch thinking TCU
should.
He's in Redmond, or he's in Redmond, Oregon, seeing red right now.
Man, he has some serious beef with the Horned Frogs.
I do, man. I mean, the last time I saw the Horned Frogs play with my Ducks, we all know how that went. So I don't think they should not be undefeated. They're one of those teams. They're like Syracuse.
They're like Florida State from a few years ago.
No, they're like Syracuse, where they start the season undefeated, and then you're like, okay, like they're starting undefeated. They're gonna lose like 3 games. Whatever. They're going to lose a couple games. You can tell it's going to happen. But no, they just keep squeezing these damn games out. And it's pissing me off.
No. What's going to happen is it's going to be like every other team. They're going to win their conference, make the championship, make the playoff, and then get blown out. Exactly.
How pissed off do you think Lucas would be if they made the playoff? And they squeak out.
They squeak out a championship game win.
Here's the thing about that. Here's my thing about that, though. Hear me out. If they win the national title, if TCU wins the national championship,
Lucas is going to put asterisks on it. Lucas will put
I won't be mad.
That's the thing. I don't think you can really actually be mad about it.
What makes me mad is that I know they're going to get their no lube bent over by Georgia. Lucas, I know it's going to happen.
How mad would you be if they played a tight game against Georgia in the semifinal and they squeak out a win with like a field goal with like 3 seconds left to beat Georgia.
I wouldn't be mad because, like, I just don't want this team that I don't think is competitive that can compete with.
But who wouldn't
teams
get dog walked by
in
Georgia? That's the thing.
top
Is
four.
like,
I mean, I think Georgia's beatable. I do. I've seen
when they're
it.
playing their best. I mean,
We haven't
we've
really
seen it.
that outside
They
of
look
the Oregon
beatable.
game.
They
Outside
look,
of really
yeah.
the Oregon game.
but
we
when
really
Georgia
haven't seen it.
gets up for a game, a la Oregon, a la Tennessee, it's
Okay, I will say though, yes. Once Georgia's like up by a score, it's even if it's 7-7. I don't think have they ever actually trailed in a game.
Think about it
this
though.
year this
You don't
season?
think they're going to look over? You don't think they're going to look over the number 4 team when they play them? I have a feeling
Maybe.
they are.
They probably could.
Last year dog walked Michigan, but they were the team of destiny, so it didn't matter.
But also Michigan was the number 3 seed, and Georgia
wasn't.
Alabama
Georgia
was playing
wasn't going to lose that game.
Cincinnati. Now, if Georgia was playing Cincinnati, I could have seen that. But all right, so here are the
I had another
standings.
I
fantastic
did
game.
shitty this week.
I had a
shitty this
fantastic week. I had 25. Lucas, you. That means
Lucas
you
only lost 2 points of ground.
2 points. You only lost 2 points, so I've been
I
doing
didn't
like
do
25
terrible.
and 5 or something.
Yeah, I didn't do terrible, but Connor, you just did just slightly better, and it hurt me. I got to stop picking against – dude, if all I had to do was pick TCU, and I think the other one was – did you pick Arkansas?
We all took Arkansas. That's why. That was the main point that got Connor.
Oh, he did.
I can't remember.
You took, and also you took NC State, Lucas.
It doesn't matter. I'm going undefeated this week, so let's get into this.
36-0. Let's go.
Yes, Illinois at Northwestern. And also, really quick, Illinois need to, if they want a chance to play for the Big Ten title, they have to win this game and hope for a Purdue loss.
Purdue. Oh my God. And Purdue would make it. What are they like?
So Illinois, going into this weekend,
What's Purdue's rank?
They're 7-4.
They're 7-4. Okay.
So
they were like 6-5.
So Illinois going into this weekend needed Iowa and Purdue to lose and win their game against Northwestern to get in. So Iowa has already lost. So therefore, all Illinois needs is Purdue to lose.
Gotcha.
So
okay. So 14. So really, the question is: are you taking Illinois and the points there?
14.5? Hell yeah.
Yes.
14.5. Yeah. I think that's an easy sweep. We're all taking Has Josh sent you his picks, Ryan?
Yeah, I think he did. 1 second. Let me pull those up. Josh is taking the Fighting Illini.
Got it. So that's a clean sweep for the Illini.
Rutgers
at Maryland. Are you also going to take Maryland with the 14 points?
Lucas.
Purdue's really going to go to the Big Ten title. 14. Yeah.
With the Rutgers team that I think has lost like 5 or 6 straight. I think they've literally lost. Yeah, they lost.
Yeah, I'll take the points. I'll take the points in both of those games.
Well, is Talia playing?
Probably. I don't see why he
wouldn't.
He got hurt. You didn't see he got hurt really bad at the end of that Ohio State game?
He got two-wood.
He got
out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I don't think it matters.
You don't think it matters? Okay. I'll take Maryland too then.
Give me Maryland. Oh, dear God. I don't know if I can't trust Oklahoma State after that performance.
I just want to say something real quick. It's disgusting how bad the Big Ten is this year. Just gonna point that
Josh
out.
took Maryland.
Oklahoma State, West Virginia, trap game, but I think Spencer Sanders comes out there and wins it.
It's a home game. They've been doing this back and forth, home win-loss. So now this is gonna be a win. West Virginia is really bad. So
and UCLA beat Cal. Fuck. God damn it.
Yeah. Give me Oklahoma State.
I want to take West Virginia, but I'm going to Oklahoma State because JT Daniels his mind is on transferring.
So crazy.
Two
He's
Virginia
gonna be.
Tech.
He is literally what the who was that guy? Oh, Tate Martell. He's the next Tate Martell.
Okay,
but he actually
okay.
plays.
Well, Tate never actually played. That's the big difference.
That
JT
is-
actually at least played with West Virginia.
Yeah, you know what's weird? Because JT Daniels has got such bad breaks everywhere he's went.
I mean,
like-
that's kind of like what. Yeah, I mean, he's been.
He went to Georgia, and he was supposed to be the one that led Georgia to a natty.
And then Stetson comes
He
in.
goes to West Virginia, and because West Virginia had all these other transfers, and they were supposed to be really good this year.
Well, and remember, he was at USC first and got
and
beat out
lost
by
his job to
Dart.
Jackson Dart and Keaton Slovis.
And then, of course, Keaton Slovis and Jackson Dart leave because Caleb Williams goes there.
Yep.
Okay. Are we all taking Oklahoma State?
Yeah, give me the Pokes.
Yep.
Josh was also
Okay.
taking Oklahoma State.
Ooh. This is a good game. Coastal Carolina at James Madison.
Normally,
James
this
Madison's
game-
nearly a 2-touchdown favorite at home?
yep.
What?
This game actually would have Sun Belt Conference title implications if James Madison was able to play in the conference title.
Yeah, I still don't understand that, why they can't. It's
But yeah, James Madison, I was looking on BetMGM. They are a 13.5-point favorite at home.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, I think the biggest part of that is that Coastal is basically coming off a bye week.
Also, Todd Senatillo is
Um,
back for this game. The guy that
which-
had James Madison undefeated.
Gotcha.
Late season bye weeks are not good for college football. And obviously it wasn't actually a bye
Coastal's
week,
fault.
but it was just a cancellation of a game. But it's never good to have a late season bye week like this. I think I'm still gonna roll with Coastal in this game, but it scares me a little bit.
Did that 13.5 scare you?
It kind of freaks me out. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah. I'll take Ryan, have you gone?
I haven't gone yet. Oh, I so want to take James Madison, but because of where I am in the standings, I'm going to go with Coastal.
I'll take James Madison.
Ooh, I like the best team in
Todd
the state of Virginia.
Santillo is the kid.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm
Western
switching.
Kentucky.
I'm switching.
No.
No. Hold up. Hold the phone. I know I need to make some ground on Connor, but with Santillo back, the season that he has had, I mean, he threw 4 tuds last week against Georgia State. I gotta take JMU in this one.
Okay, then I'm switching my pick to JMU because we're all going to go JMU.
It's
All
just
right.
the smart
Okay.
pick.
Western Kentucky at FAU. Western Kentucky is a 7.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Western Kentucky to knock FAU out of bowl contention.
Yeah, the former Fighting Lane Kiffins are going to that lane train is going to be pulling away from bowl eligibility. So give me the Hilltoppers.
Give me the Fighting Billy Zappies. Okay. Kent State at
Rivalry game.
Buffalo, the best team in Indiana, right?
No,
Kent State.
Ohio.
Oh, Ohio.
Best team.
My apologies. No, that's
Ohio,
Ball State.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
no,
Ball
no.
State. That's Ball State is the best team in Indiana.
In this one, I've watched both of these teams. Obviously, some action. I was actually kind of impressed when I watched Kent State play, and so I'm taking Kent State to beat Buffalo in this one, knock Buffalo out of bowl contention.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the best buffs in college football.
Which actually is very true. Because Colorado actually is downright terrible. Colorado is the
Colorado.
worst team.
But it's funny because Kent State and Northern Illinois, both teams that were playing for the MAC title last year, are 4-7 and 3-8. So that's kind of weird. I don't know
We
how
got
often that happens.
Ohio and Toledo playing it in this year in the
Yeah.
in the board or
MAC championship?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
the Battle of the Ohio's.
So wait. Okay. Are these games all tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. Because
I wasn't going to do any Friday games because it's like there was no point because we were doing it so late.
Well, did we not include these games that are being played today last week?
What do you mean?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. No, because I thought we were going to do it.
The games for today just didn't matter.
Yeah, we thought we were going to do. I thought we were going to do the show Wednesday. That's why I got confused.
Okay.
So I didn't put it in there. But anyway, all right. I'm going to go Buffalo.
I didn't go. Oh, you're going Buffalo?
Yeah.
I'm going the Fighting Khalil Max. Go Buffs.
Buffs.
Okay. Oh, dear fucking God. Rice at North Texas.
The best teams in the state of Texas.
North Texas is a 14-point favorite. That's kind of crazy.
One team is fighting for bowl eligibility. One team is not.
Because they already made it.
Yep.
Hold up. I don't want to get this right or get this wrong and sound like an idiot. So Rice got absolutely dog walked last week.
By who?
UTSA beat them 41-7.
Well, UTSA team in the conference.
Wait, is he hurt? Why did UTSA have like 17 people catch the ball last week?
It's like
okay. I'm not gonna.
It's like an STD out there. They're catching everything. Jeez.
Yeah, for real. It's weird.
Everyone's
I'm not gonna
catching
waste any
everything,
more time with this. But I know that one of the McCaffreys, I think it's Dylan, maybe Luke, I don't know. One of the McCaffreys plays for Rice, and he's a receiver. So I'm taking Rice. I'm taking the Owls. And also they own Bama. So
yes. I'm taking the Rice Owls as well. You know, usually when we watch these late end-of-season games and one team really has nothing else to play for and one team does, usually that benefits the team that is fighting for bowl eligibility. So give me the Rice Owls.
You make a fair point, but that 14 points makes me think Vegas knows something, obviously. So
North Texas has a 29-year-old quarterback, by the way.
Oh, Brandon! I see he's following the footsteps of Brandon Weeding. So
yes.
But yeah, give me North Texas as the 29-year-old old man will lead them with his wisdom to victory.
His wisdom.
Wake at Duke, a surprisingly good game, especially with Duke. Wake, meanwhile, has kind of shit the bed recently, but Wake is a 4-point favorite.
I struggled to pick this one a little bit, but Sam Hartman, it's his last regular season game. Last regular season game at Wake. I think he gets it done against Duke.
Well, the thing with him is that he may come back for another year and transfer. So
VT! Just anyone and everybody come to VT.
Anyway, I'm going to go with
I could see Hartman going to Notre Dame. Funny enough.
I could see it. So ecstatic if you did. But I'm taking the Duke Blue Devils, man. You know, they got my boy, oh, God, what the hell is his name? He used to be the DC for Mike Elko. He's the head coach over there. He's got Duke playing out of his mind. Their quarterback over there is electric. He's probably the fastest quarterback in college football right now.
Imagine how good they would be if they still had Jake Bobo.
Oh.
The kid that transferred to UCLA.
But I'm going with the Blue Devils at home in a rivalry game.
Give me Wake.
Ooh.
That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Purdue at Indiana. Purdue is a 10.5-point favorite, and Purdue has to win, right,
to get to the Big Ten title. Yep.
Wow.
I'm sorry,
Who would have thought
Illinois.
Purdue?
I'm sorry, Illinois. Purdue in the points.
I might lose a point for this, but give me Indiana. I want Illinois to make the Big Ten title for the first time since, I believe, 2005 when they went to the Rose Bowl and beat SC. Or not, no, it wasn't 2005. What was it? Was it 2002? 2004?
Oh, I just realized.
They beat SC in the Rose Bowl like in the early 2000s. I can't remember when
I just realized something. I didn't give my stunner. I just realized that.
Who cares?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's a Virginia Tech player. No one fucking cares other than me.
I'm going to look this up really quick. But go ahead, and I'll finish my thought when you're done, Connor.
Yeah, give me Purdue.
Okay. So the last – okay, never mind. So Illinois made the Rose Bowl in 2004. or not 2004, 2003, and they played SC and lost a close game. That was the last time they were in the Big Ten title. So
Isaiah Williams.
Yep. So give me Indiana in this one, mainly because I want Chase Brown and the boys to get a shot at Ohio State.
Oh, I see. Who are you picking? That's a preview of who you're picking soon. Okay, Minnesota at Wisconsin. Wisconsin, I would have taken, but they lost to Iowa, so I don't know what the hell to think of them now. There was a chance that Iowa could have exceeded.
Both of these teams got beat by Iowa.
Oh my God! How the hell do you lose to that?
Hey, so I don't. Contrary to the way Connor likes to do things, I actually pick previously before the show because I don't want to be influenced by picks. I put Indiana as my winner for that last game, so I need to switch my pick to Indiana. I'm gonna ride with Ryan because I don't want to. I don't want to switch on the show. I got to go over there. I don't want to switch on the show, so I'm picking Indiana. But for this game, I am going with Wisconsin to get it done. I could just see another
all money and Zax. Ooh.
I could see another game like I could see another game like last week with Wisconsin and Nebraska just fighting hard, and then Wisconsin gets it done at the end.
Oh, this game is so hard for me. It's at Wisconsin, so that's a big thing there. Give me Wisco. I'll go with Lucas on this one.
Well, it's gonna be a sweep. I was gonna take Wisco anyway. Minnesota.
Could be very well. This could be a snow game.
Yeah,
and that would be awesome. I mean, I'll watch these. I'll watch it.
Braylon Allen versus Mohamed Ibrahim. Yep.
Okay, I mean that's the only reason that I would contemplate taking Minnesota because I think now Mohamed Ibrahim he's had like 18 or 19 straight 100-yard rushing games. Yeah. And he's probably the most unsung.
He's got the second most straight games in the Big Ten this year with 100-yard games, only behind Chase Brown. So
no, he is. Before last game, I literally saw a thing that said he had 18 straight.
Oh, I thought Chase Brown held that before.
No, he has had. I think yeah. So he hasn't had a 100-yard game since probably that Ohio State game to begin the season last year, maybe. That's probably the last game that I can think of where they probably didn't maybe get 100 because he got injured in that game. I remember he got injured in that game last year to start the season. So that's the only reason I might take out Minnesota, but it's in Wisconsin, so I'll take Wisconsin. Memphis at SMU. Jesus Christ, I don't know what to think of this either. SMU is a 4.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm gonna take SMU. Every time I pick Memphis, they end up losing. Especially I can't forgive them. I can't forgive them after that Houston game a few weeks back.
Yeah,
blowing that big lead.
Lucas took them 2 weeks in a row, and they blew big leads.
Yeah, they blew it both times.
I can't forgive them for that. And plus, with Tanner Mordecai playing like he is the last couple weeks, I think SMU is going to win this.
Also, shout out to our boy Cam McDaniel.
Oh my God, Jordan Travis is a god. If he throws a touchdown right here, oh my God, he's going to run in. Oh my God. I'm sorry. He's insane. That play is insane. That play's going in the week.
Was it 14-14 now?
The best of
21-21.
Okay.
But all right. My fiance's favorite car is a Mustang. Therefore, I'm going with the SMU Mustangs because why the fuck?
Are you gonna buy her one with?
Yes, I am. Yep.
There you go. Nice. Does she know?
Yeah, she knows.
A
happy wife is a happy life.
I mean, my grandfather said
my
this.
Mustang?
Exactly.
No, we can't. Let's not talk about that too much, though.
Yeah.
No. So, no. 3 words my grandfather said to make any relationship last. Yes, my love.
Yep.
Yes,
my love. So, okay. Yeah. I've also been the same thing with you. I took Memphis those 2 back-to-back weeks and they blew it both times. Or I think and so I'll go with SMU. So that's a clean sweep for SMU. UTEP at UTSA. We're just going to take UTSA and the points here?
So this is a big rivalry game, believe it or not. But And
I'm surprised UTEP is actually doing that okay.
UTSA is already locked in their Conference USA conference championship. Believe it or not, it's going to be UTSA versus Western Kentucky again. So
again.
yeah. So
who won last year? Was that Western Kentucky or
UTSA won? It was like an overtime game.
Yeah,
Bailey Zappi versus oh god, the quarterback that's still at UTSA and he's a fucking beast.
He is.
I can't remember either.
Okay, but
just give you a pick.
Anyway,
just give you a pick.
Go ahead, Lucas.
Yeah, UTSA the points, man.
The only thing that concerns
UTSA, like I said before, UTSA just won last week, 41-7.
The only thing that concerns me about this game is the fact that UTSA really doesn't have anything motivating them to win this game, outside of it being a rivalry game, and UTEP has that bowl eligibility thing they're fighting for. But I think UTSA is just a way better team, so give me the Roadrunners at home.
I mean, wait. UTSA, they could still end as the top Power 5 team, can't
Group
they?
of 5, yeah. I think so.
Or a group of 5, yeah.
Probably with UCF losing to Navy, that gives them probably 2 losses.
It's between UTSA and Tulane right now for the best.
Well, Tulane's ranked, and they're going to jump up now that they beat Cincinnati. So,
but if they lose in the conference title and UTSA wins out,
that is true.
UTSA might be in a New Year's Six bowl.
Okay.
Anyways.
Give me UTSA.
UTSA probably should have been in one last year.
Agreed.
Okay.
They were
App State, who we thought was going to have
a great season. They were 11-1, Lucas.
Even better.
But yeah, App State at Georgia Southern. So, what are we thinking here?
I'm going to go App State, even though Georgia Southern is fighting hard. I mean, I like to think about it with like Chase Bryce ending the season. I think he's a better quarterback than what Georgia Southern has.
Vanderhaas.
You want to end your season right. You want to end your season good. And there's something about knocking a team out of bowl contention that just like, it gets you up in the morning.
Especially if it's a rival.
Yeah, it just gets you up in the morning and you want to do stuff like that and like hurting your rival's chances of doing anything in their lives. So I'm going to take Chase Bryce and App State. Disappointing App State.
So this game, Georgia, it's a big rivalry game. Georgia Southern's fighting for bowl contention. I feel like I owe something to Georgia Southern fans due to the way Notre Dame dismantled their baseball team last year in the College World Series. Therefore, I am going with the Eagles of Georgia Southern in an upset.
All right, it's probably really loud.
Give me App State.
Ooh.
Syracuse at Boston College. Syracuse is a 10.5-point favorite. They're also on like a 5-game losing streak, which is a perfect bounce back for them.
I wonder how the hell this is a rivalry.
I'm not sure if it actually is.
Okay.
So last year, I kind of want to start doing these for these games, but last year, Georgia Southern lost to App State 27-3.
What do you mean? Do this for
App State? Just for these rivalry games, just see what happened the year before. Of course, last year App State was a lot better team, but
there was actually something I remembered I wanted to do back earlier in the season. I was like, it was going to be asking you guys which like long time rivalry game that has been dominated by one team when that winning streak would kind of finally end. It was like Purdue. I saw something was like Purdue hadn't beaten Wisconsin or in like 20 something years, or it would have been Kentucky beating Florida. You know what I mean? That's like those long winning streaks in rivalry.
Or Illinois beating Wisconsin and Iowa for the first time in the same season since 1964.
Exactly. Stuff like that.
Yes. So last year, I'm going to look these up for each one just so you guys can get an idea. Last year, Syracuse beat Boston College 21-6.
And that was Phil Jerkovic.
I don't think it's going to be much different. I'm taking Syracuse.
I think it might be a little worse. To be honest.
Yeah, it probably will be a bit worse. So yeah, give me Syracuse.
Yeah, give me the Cuse. This is actually a sneaky good game. Oklahoma at Texas Tech, and OU is only a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to. The uncertainty with Texas Tech at the quarterback position makes me really want to take Oklahoma. So
They've been playing really good ball the last couple weeks.
I'm going to
Really
take
good
them.
ball.
Obviously, these two teams are completely different than last year, but Oklahoma won this game 52-21 the year previous. Much different teams, but I'm going to take Oklahoma to win this game.
Give me the Fighting Michael Crabtrees. They're going to, upset Oklahoma. And, so Brent Venables will be knocked to 6-6 as his first year as a head coach.
Give me the fighting former Spencer Rattlers.
Ooh, okay.
Go Oklahoma. Okay. Please. Okay. Right
For the
away.
love of God, Pittsburgh.
Please, Pittsburgh, do not let Miami get a bowl game. Please, I will love you for it.
Much different teams than the year previous, but this was actually one of Pittsburgh's 3 losses that they took last year. Lost 38-34 in this game. I mean, Miami is so bad, man. They're so bad.
But it's a rivalry game, Lucas. It's a rivalry game.
I'm not sure if this is really a rivalry, so to speak.
Hey, it's a rivalry. You don't remember a couple years ago when Miami almost made the playoff and they lost to Pitt in the last week of the season?
Second last.
I'm gonna take Pitt. It's what I have on my stuff. But I just for some reason could see Miami making this a really tough
and then we
game.
gotta watch fucking Mario Cristobal in a fucking bowl game.
I know.
Please, I just hope they're against like a good 6-6 or 7-5 team and just get the doors blown off.
I just don't want them to make a bowl game because then somehow Mario Cristobal would turn around and say, "Well, man, it's a process. We made a bowl game our first year."
Stupid as hell.
But no, give me Pittsburgh.
Yeah, clean sweep of Pittsburgh. The only time I will ever root for Pittsburgh because I actually legit hate Miami, at least college football wise, more than Pittsburgh.
This is another sneaky good game.
Air Force at San Diego State. San Diego State was my team last year, and actually Air Force is my team this year. I've picked them every single time.
The winner of this game,
Mountain West
plays Boise State in the Mountain West title.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Air Force. Last year, Air Force lost this game 20-14. So, but I'm gonna take Air Force in this one.
I'm taking Air Force as well. San Diego State was my team last year. You guys were pissed that I was doing so well with them, but they have not really held up their end of the bargain this year.
Give me Air Force as well.
Hey, and Air Force.
Whoa! Tennessee is beating Kansas by 12 right now in basketball.
I did see that, and also Air Force approaching 2 straight 10-win seasons.
They already won the Commander-in-Chief, so
they're 9. They're gonna, if they win this game, they'll end 9-3 for the second straight year.
And also they'll get a rematch with Boise State, who they lost to 20-14 earlier in the year.
Nope. Okay. Is that a clean sweep for Air Force? Got it. BYU at Stanford. BYU had a rough schedule.
Disappointing.
Yeah,
disappointing.
They almost lost to UT Tech last week. BYU did.
Yeah.
University of Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, University of Tennessee Tech.
I was trying to figure out who you were talking about. I was like, Texas Tech?
No.
Bowl eligible, another one of those teams where you're just like, why are they bowl eligible? And I do not want to watch their bowl game. But they actually did not play Stanford last year. So we don't have anything to look on that. However, I was having a really hard time with this one. This was one of the harder ones on the thing because every time I see Stanford, I look back to the Notre Dame game and I'm like, man, they could really.
This is the same team, man.
They could beat a team down. They can beat a team down, but then I'm like, they sucked in 8 games this year really bad. So I'm taking BYU to win this one in a late, like 31-38 game.
Yeah, give me the Cougs. the former Fighting benched.
Benched Cougar Hunter.
Cougar Hunter.
Yeah.
Did you see what RG3 said?
The fact he got
What
benched
do you-
for Mike White.
What did he say?
I think it was Marcus Jones was the kick returner that returned it for to win the game. So he was a Houston Cougar, and so then RG3 was like, should have put Zach Wilson out there. He would have caught that Cougar.
I love RG3.
Oh my God.
I love
Dude,
that.
RG3 is awesome. I love him.
Yeah,
I love him.
I want him.
That's so
He hasn't
funny.
called the Notre Dame game all year, and I'm really sad about it.
Because he does ESPN. So
Yeah.
until you
me
guys
today.
are in a bowl game, because they don't cover the bowl
I
game.
really hope he calls our bowl game because I love RG3.
I mean, he's one of like the upper tier guys.
ESPN needs to make him a focal point now.
He should be. Honestly, I'd be fine with him doing.
I'm so sick of listening to Joe Tessitore. It's not even.
Dude, you think you have it bad. I have to listen to Rod Gilmore every week. That guy is terrible. If you don't know who Rod Gilmore is, look him up on Twitter and see how many people just drag that guy.
Every time I watch.
So what network is he with?
ESPN.
Oh, he's so bad. He calls every Oregon game. Hey, and guess who I get to listen to again this week? Oh, Dave Fleming and Rod Gilmore talking shit about Oregon the entire game. It drives me nuts.
Hey, at least you don't have to hear it from Joe Tessitore, who every time he calls an LSU game every other week, and then talks about how great LSU is.
Yeah.
He does do that.
Okay.
That's true.
Okay, let's hurry this up. Louisville at Kentucky. This would have been a good game probably about 5 weeks ago if we would have thought so, but now not so much.
Last year, Kentucky won 52-21. Much different teams.
Again.
I think Kentucky gets it done. I think they have more talent, so I think they get it done.
I'm going with the Fighting Lamar Jacksons in this game. Believe it or not, the last time Lamar Jackson played in this rivalry, he lost.
Yep.
They didn't win a lot of games.
Give me Lamar.
If I remember correctly, I believe Lamar had never won a rivalry game against Kentucky.
Because he lost the Heisman year. I know that much.
And then he lost it the year before too.
Yeah.
So
give me Louisville. Number 22, UCF at South Florida.
We're fighting Gary Bohannon's.
We're taking South Florida. Central Florida points.
Something I want to point out about this game. UCF last year, they finished the season 9-4 overall. USF finished the season 2-10 overall, and UCF only won this game by 4, 17-13 last year. And so this could be a much closer game than what we're seeing. But I do think UCF wins it. But keep an eye on it. It might
and
not
also
be
the fact, you know what, you might not think so, but Gary Bohannon is better than the quarterback USF had last year.
Yeah,
he definitely is. But I actually was, believe it or not, this was a hard game for me to take because I could so see South Florida winning this game, especially with the way UCF lost to Navy last week. But I think the safer pick is UCF, so I'm going to take the Knights.
Yeah, their records are just too far apart for me to be willing to take that risk of taking USF. If USF was 6-5 or 5-6 or something, I'd be willing to take that. But no, give me UCF.
Because of the Tulane win today over Cincinnati, UCF is a win away from going to the conference title.
Mm-hmm.
To play against Tulane.
Yep.
So what if UCF loses? If UCF loses, then Cincinnati makes it.
I think Houston has a chance still. But yeah, it's like Houston and Cincinnati. It's like it's like kind of like the Pac-12, where it's like a bunch of like jumbled teams that are kind of like
So is there a way for Washington to make the Pac-12 title or no?
Yeah, all they got to do is win, and then
Oregon
Oregon
lose.
State lose, and then they're in.
Okay, Utah, number 14, Utah, Colorado. We just taking Utah on the points.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Utah's
This is a game where
Yep.
Utah is going to be like, with one hand just kicking Colorado's ass, and then with the other hand just looking at
watching every other game.
Yeah. Like making sure that Oregon's losing and Washington's losing.
Yeah. Okay. Number 13, Washington at Washington State.
The Apple Cup.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this is in Pullman, where it could be snowing. Could be a snowy game.
And you know what? It's nighttime too. Pac-12
and you know who has a better run game? Washington State does. You know what?
Lucas
I'm going against my rules. Huck the Fuskies. I'm going with the Cougs. In Pullman. Wazoo's going to get it done in the Apple Cup. They haven't won very many Apple Cups, by the way. They pretty much have been dominated in this rivalry.
They actually won it last year, so.
Yeah, but over the last 20 years, they've won 3.
Which is weird because Gardner Minshew, you'd think that they would have won one of those Apple Cups.
I do think Washington's a really good team, but in a real cold night game, I think they're running. Washington's not
going to be used to the cold.
Not as much because they're in
what about
Seattle
Talapapa?
where it rains.
I love Talapapa.
Yeah, but the kid at Washington State, Nikita or whatever his name is, really good. He kind of dominated Oregon throughout that entire game until we came back. But Washington, they're in Seattle. It rains there. Pullman, Washington is basically Idaho. It just snows a lot. So I think this could be a snowy game, and I think Washington State could get it done.
I could so see that happening. But
Cameron Ward's a stud, too.
Michael Penix is really effing good.
He is.
So I'm going to go the other way, and we're not going to hook the Fuskies this week.
We are going to fuck the Cougars, though. Go Washington. Kansas at Kansas State. Actually, a good game.
Well, a Kansas State loss puts Texas in the
What's up, man?
Hey, Battle of Oz.
Kansas State loses this game, puts Texas in the Big 12 title game. Nobody wants to see that. Kansas State, you better win this game. And so we don't have to watch Texas until their bowl game.
So I need Kansas State to lose this game because of ranking reasons, so Notre Dame can slide up a few spots and still have that shot at a New Year's Six. So I'm going to go with the win-win. Going to go with the win-win situation here. So give me K-State. But
why didn't you ride with the Cougs then?
Yeah. Notre Dame will get the Capital One Bowl, or the Citrus Bowl, the top, the second tier of bowl games.
No, right now it's between the Gator and the Holiday.
That's third tier. That's the third tier of bowl games. Oh my god.
Well, that's projecting that Notre Dame doesn't beat USC. That's what those.
Oh, well, if you win, then it's probably going to be, it'll be probably the Capital One or something.
Oh.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Give me K-State. Okay. Michigan State at Penn State. Penn State. We're just taking 19 points.
So are we gonna say that Penn State's gonna get arrested for assault?
Did you see? Yeah. No, did you see something? I saw. I'm not sure if
7
you heard
players.
about
No, 7 Michigan.
No. Okay. Well, that yes, but they've been charged. But Michigan State for last year, Mel Tucker was giving $100,000 bonus for the season or whatever. About what they did, and it's supposed to be shared between him, his assistants, and other coaches. He took all the money for himself. Didn't give it to any of his assistants or anything like that.
Mel Tucker sucks as a person.
Yeah.
Michigan State was a lot better last year, but they still won this game 30-27 last year. Penn State is a much better team than they were last year. Send them.
Oh yeah, Foster. Oh yeah. Lucas, you'll love Foster. He's a Titans fan.
Hey, tighten up, baby. Michigan State just lost.
I do want the Titans to win because that would mean the Bengals are 2 games behind the Ravens. But I still hope that you guys are like the 3 seed or something.
So, Lucas, you took Penn State, correct?
Michigan State, they're going to be so demoralized after that, 3 overtime loss. Yeah, you can see in the back, I got my Eddie George jersey and my Titans.
So, yeah.
Are any of those jerseys signed? Do you have any signed jerseys?
No, unfortunately.
So, after this game, Penn State is going to be tried and charged with first-degree manslaughter of the Spartans. So, yeah, give me the Nittany Lions.
There's no such thing as first-degree manslaughter.
Okay, whatever. Just manslaughter.
First-degree
I've never
murder.
been charged with first-degree manslaughter, as you can tell.
It would be first-degree murder because it was planned out. There's malice.
It could be second-degree murder or third-degree, and then manslaughter you just didn't intend to kill him at all. So yeah, it'll be first-degree murder. But yeah, give me Penn State. Murder. Give me Penn State. Okay.
The perks of having a cop's son on our show.
Oh.
I'm taking the Commodores, man. I'm doing it. I'm taking the Commodores. I don't. It was hard for me to make this pick, but man, they're just riding strong. They want that bowl game so bad. Tennessee's down bad. Our
favorite hooker isn't there anymore.
Nope, I'm taking the
Our favorite hooker got arrested for the end of the season.
He did
for a little too much soliciting.
I feel that.
Yep.
I still want to go with the boys, but since you took Vanderbilt, I gotta take a free point. I see it. Give me Tennessee. Give me the ball.
That's fair.
If you would have taken Tennessee, I would have went Vanderbilt. But...
That's fair.
I know. I should try and gain the point, but I'm gonna join you, Lucas, and I want this so bad.
Yeah.
I want to see a bowl.
Ride the commie wave. Ride the commie wave.
Yeah, exactly. The commies are gonna win. Have you seen? I'm not sure if you've seen the SEC shorts. They now have Vanderbilt dressed as a king, coming for Tennessee, being like, "We're coming for you to win. We're coming for you." Yeah, give me Vandy.
Tennessee?
Yes, they're definitely the best team in the state of Tennessee, professional and college level.
Right now, would Vandy beat Memphis?
No, take it easy now. My Titans are on their way up. All right.
The Vultures
you don't want to see King Henry in the playoffs again, there, Connor. All right. He's still pissed after last time. He's still pissed after last time. We're coming.
Yeah, because we shut his ass down, and he only had 40 yards rushing.
Hey, you know what?
It's all right.
At least,
in 2 playoff games, he still has 400 rushing yards total.
Hey, so you know what, Lucas?
We don't have Earl Thomas anymore, so he's not going to act as a free blocker for him.
I don't want to hear any playoff talk because you know what? My Broncos, we're going to be chilling on the couch watching with a bucket of popcorn, watching all you suckers lose. So it's okay.
Almost 10 years.
You can't.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Some of us will be joining you probably eventually soon. Just.
Oh man, yeah. It's never sucked to be a Broncos fan so bad.
Okay, so me and Lucas have clearly gone insane thinking that Vandy's going to win.
Taking the commies. So I'm actually going to take Clemson in this. I'm taking Clemson in this one just because it's at Clemson and they don't lose at Clemson. It could be a decent game, but I think South Carolina last week was kind of a fluke. Clemson has a much better defense than Tennessee does, so Clemson finishes 11-1.
Also, South Carolina still has no defense. Tennessee had almost 500 yards of total offense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, give me Clemson. I think DJ has another coming out party, kind of like he did against Wake.
Yeah, give me Clemson.
But it would be funny as hell if South Carolina beat Clemson.
Dude, we would be all on Coster's ass about it.
Right.
We should have been on Coster's ass about being like, hey, look at South Carolina defeating Tennessee.
I didn't even message him about the Notre Dame game at all.
Coster, my thing about Coster though is he's a poor loser like I am, so you don't want to text him after losses.
Oh no, dude, he would be a bitch about it. Like he really would be a poor. I mean, he was a poor loser when they lost 2-3 games last year. He'd be absolutely.
Meanwhile, I was just chilling when we lost to Ohio State.
Meanwhile, I'm just so used to the Virginia Tech losing that I don't feel anything anymore.
You're numb.
Okay. Are we just gonna take Bama in the points? Because dear God,
Iron Bowl. Hey, Auburn's on a 2-game winning streak.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you gonna make me do it? I'm gonna do it.
You're not gonna.
Oh, please don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. Are you just trying to lose points here or something?
Carnell, Cadillac, Williams. Say it with me now. Carnell, Cadillac, Williams, baby.
There we go.
The head coach of the interim head coach of the Auburn Tigers right now is going to beat Alabama in Bama. They went to 4 overtimes last year. Alabama had the Heisman Trophy winner, still do, and he's having a worse season. I'm taking the Auburn Tigers to beat Bama in Bama.
How much of this is a part of your Bo
It's
Nix
always in
love?
Bama. It has nothing to do with Bo Nix, but Robbie Ashford, the starting quarterback for Auburn, was a former Oregon Duck. Has a little bit to do with it.
Okay. Yeah. So Lucas, I think we're on this, or not Lucas, Connor, I think we're on the same page. Roll Tide.
We'll take the
Roll
points. Roll Tide.
Here, I'll just say, Auburn's a much better team this year than they were last year. Alabama is a worse team than they were last year. I think Auburn gets it done.
Okay.
To get his players to show up.
LSU at Texas A&M. They're only a 10-point favorite on the road to a seat. Did you see how empty Texas A&M Stadium was?
Because they were only up.
UMass.
They were only up 13-3 on UMass at halftime.
Yeah. LSU is going to thump them boys. We all remember the throwback 72-74 game where A&M won. Everybody's like showing it right now, but LSU's going to
See, I'd be so pissed if that game happened and somehow Brian Kelly won that.
Yeah.
So,
LSU's going to thump these kids.
Yeah, give me the
And another 10-win season for Brian Kelly.
give me the baby Tigs.
Yep. Go LSU.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're the baby Tigs behind the big Tigs in Auburn.
And Clemson. And Missouri.
No, Clemson is the medium Tigs.
Yeah.
They're the medium Tigs. That's true. Missouri will be the bowl game. A&M will.
Yes.
Hey, think about it this way: Missouri has 1 5-star, and their last 20 recruiting classes. Texas A&M had what, like 10,
20 in this
20
one.
in the last couple.
And this is one class.
This game, I'm going against myself. I actually think TCU gets it done, and honestly, pretty easily. I don't think Iowa State's very good. However, they do have one of the best receivers in the country. I still just think TCU is going to kind of sleepwalk through this pretty easily.
This season kind of ruined Matt Campbell's kind of, I think
Hype.
chances of hype and chances of getting a better job somewhere. Losing Bryce Hall and Brock Purdy, despite Purdy being bad, but Hall showed that he was really good in the NFL before he got injured. So that's definitely showing that he was really kind of being carried by them. So Campbell's going to have to try and figure out another season, see if he can get another good season with Iowa State.
I'm so glad Notre Dame didn't hire him.
I mean, he should have moved on after last year or the year before. He should have tried to get a job.
Yeah.
The minute Brock Purdy left, he should have left.
Well, that was last year. That was before this season. So yeah. Give me TCU. I've been riding them. Sure, they've looked choppy at times, but this is their easiest game in literally the last 5 games they've had.
More like 7.
Yeah, because they've actually had kind of a gauntlet of a schedule recently. So yeah, give me Iowa
The
State.
fact that TCU's strength of
TCU,
schedule,
not Iowa State.
the fact that TCU's strength of schedule is better than anyone in the country right now outside of Notre
I still
Dame.
think that's a little bit of the Big 12 just like not being that good. But
yeah, to give me the horny frogs to make the Big 12 title, the team that I had in the Big 12 title.
Versus Baylor, which you got wrong.
No. So the first video
I had a gripe with you about that when I heard that on the last show. You said Baylor was going to be in this. You didn't say TCU at
Yeah, you said
all.
Baylor. That's where you
No.
said Baylor.
No.
To
So
start
what
the
happened
year.
is I originally said when we did our Big 12 thing, I said Kansas State and Baylor. And then I on that same stream I said TCU is a dark horse to win the conference and go to the title game. And then I switched it when we started our first year, like the first episode. I said, I think TCU and Kansas State can both make title. So I kind of switched it. But yeah, because I thought
Don't make me
TCU
watch
and
it back, Ryan. I will do it.
Well, you can watch it back.
Don't make me do it.
No, don't
I
do
hate
it.
listening to myself.
Do
Don't
it.
make me watch it back.
I hate listening to myself.
I can't watch our shows after we do them.
Lucas hates having his own thoughts. He can't enjoy his own thoughts. He hates it.
By the way, did you guys hear what Anthony Richardson said? Anthony Richardson.
No, what did he say?
He said before Florida played tonight, he said when we beat the crap out of those Knowles, it'll help us elevate to next season.
So he's coming back, and also he's kind of balling in this game. I'm pretty sure he has 3 tuds already and like 200-some yards. Anyways, next.
Okay, Georgia Tech at Georgia.
What do they call this
Really,
game?
the
game of pure
Georgia,
hate.
The old-fashioned hatred.
Yep.
Old-fashioned hatred.
What
Yeah,
if Georgia
this is not
Tech?
gonna be close.
Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but what if Georgia Tech somehow caught
that'd be
Georgia
freaking
sleepwalking and won this game?
That'd be hilarious.
I don't
Okay.
even know. I think we would just have to cancel the season.
We would have to just say no more playoff. Nobody's
Yeah.
getting the trophy.
Smells like either a skunk or
Just give it to
someone
GT.
Yeah, just give it to Virginia Tech by default.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really, the question is, do you take Georgia to actually beat him by 35 or more?
Nah, I ain't taking points.
Yeah, I'm taking the points.
Because Georgia this season has a history of sleepwalking in games. So
That's true. I'll
I'm
take
gonna take
Georgia,
you-
but not on the points.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to take Georgia, but I think it's actually a pretty competitive game for the first half. But I think Georgia
It
ends up
sucks.
winning.
I
by
feel
20
bad for
plus.
Georgia Tech a little bit
I do too.
because like they've heated up at the end of the year, but now they're gonna play Georgia in the game to become bowl eligible. Like that sucks.
But think about it this way. If they were to somehow beat Georgia, can you imagine what that would mean for that program? That actually might be a program changing.
I think you have to rank them.
You
Just for the first team to ever be ranked at 6-6 and be in the college playoff.
Has there
in the
ever
college
been a
playoff
6-6 team
at
ranked?
6-6?
Definitely not.
No, definitely not. I think the most I've ever seen is maybe and just
5?
at the end of the 5 at the end of the season after being in a championship game, maybe, and winning a bowl.
Yeah.
So you're like 9-5, maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, give me.
If they
Georgia.
win this game, that their interim head coach needs to get a permanent contract.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
He's just there forever. Okay. The Civil War, which is not what it's called anymore. What's it called again? The Beaver Bowl?
It's not
The
called
Platypus Cup.
It's not called
Platypus Cup.
anything. That's what they were calling it, the Flock Pod, but technically it's actually not called anything.
Kansas
And-
lost.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's their
Bad for
second
Atlantis.
loss of the season, I think.
Hey, Notre Dame's about to upset Michigan State next week.
You guys got to
And
go
Virginia
first.
Tech is
Oregon's
not
gonna-
as
Oregon's
struggling
gonna
versus
upset
Charleston
Michigan State
Southern
tonight.
of all things.
So we get your leftovers.
Just kidding. Oregon sucks.
In
You guys got to
basketball
go
is-
first.
So, I don't know, man. I'm gonna go.
Is
Do I
Nick's
go with?
playing?
Do I go with
Yes.
the best? Do I go with the best team in the state of Oregon?
Nix is
Or do I go
playing.
with
He
Oregon?
said that he feels significantly better this week than he did the week previous.
So this is my dilemma here. Do I go with the best team in the state of Oregon,
Or do you go with the Ducks?
or do I go with the Ducks? So, just because I want Lucas to keep his playoff hopes alive, I'm going to go with the Ducks.
Yeah, I'll take this. I'll take the Ducks. Go Ducks.
Yeah, obviously I'm taking the Ducks. Something about this game, Oregon State, the best part of their offense is the run game.
I think so. Buster?
The best part of Oregon's defense is their run defense. They can't really throw the ball because Branson sucks. And Oregon State has one of the worst run defenses in the Pac-12. So Bucky Irving and Noah Whittington are going to have a heyday. I predicted the score 41-7 or 42-17. That was my prediction. I think we kind of blow them out of the water. They're just not going to be able to keep up. And I've been fighting with Oregon State fans all week, and I kind of love it. It's fun.
Cool.
All right. Let's talk about a real team right now.
USC. USC Trojans.
All right,
Okay.
Go ahead. But real quick before we go, I did want to say I was just deep diving into stats. So Notre Dame has one of the top 10 rushing attacks in college football this year. USC, their rush defense ranks in the hundreds out of 132 teams in the FBS.
So one of the 30th worst.
They are literally
Also why I think Oregon's going to trample them. But yeah,
they have an atrocious defense.
For me, I really do just think that USC is going to – honestly, this is going to be one of those games about who makes the mistake first. And I'm sorry, Ryan, but I just think Drew Pine is like significantly worse than Caleb Williams. So I think he makes the mistake first. But I could see this game ending just like the UCLA USC game last week, 48-45. Just crazy game, and then Pine maybe makes a mistake at the end. I'm going to take USC. Yeah, I'm going to take USC, but I would love to see Notre Dame beat them, especially in the Coliseum. I would absolutely love that.
Connor?
This was in South Bend. I'd probably take Notre Dame, but
Notre Dame is worse at home, by the way. Their two losses are at home. So, two of their three are at home.
We've only lost one game on the road, and that was at Ohio State.
And that was 10. Was that at Ohio State or was that neutral?
Yep, at Ohio State.
It was at Ohio State.
Okay.
And it was like arguably their best game they played, other than the Clemson game.
Give me USC. Caleb Williams is just, there's some throws he was making against UCLA that were just ridiculously stupid, and he was looking fantastic versus them. So yeah. And USC continues the momentum into facing Oregon.
So, I think this game will go one of two ways. Either one, Notre Dame is going to dominate the line of scrimmage from the start to finish and control the tempo and keep Caleb Williams on the sideline and just run and pound USC's defense down their throat the entire game like they did Clemson. Or USC is going to get the ball first and score probably in like 2 plays and make Notre Dame feel like they have to play in a shootout. I don't think this game is going to be a blowout in either way. I think it's going to be a close game throughout. I look at the next closest defense, the best defense that USC played, and that was Oregon State. And Caleb Williams looked atrocious in that game. Utah. Well, I'm talking about like numbers wise. Oregon State is the closest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was Caleb Williams' worst performance of the season. Notre Dame, I feel like, is physical, way more physical than USC is. I just think they're going to lean on that offensive line. They're going to put USC's defense in the dirt. They're going to make them tired. Notre Dame's probably going to run the ball 50-plus times. I just don't think USC's meant for a slugfest. I don't think they're built for that. I think they're built for a normal Big 12, air it out, 56-53 type game. I don't think they're meant for this. So I think Notre Dame wins. I think it's a 28-25 game.
I don't disagree with that. That's another reason why I honestly would love to see Oregon play Notre Dame this year. Obviously, Oregon would probably have to lose another game for that to happen, but for them to play each other, I think they're a lot alike. Whereas they're just both smash mouth. I mean, that's just
and they have multiple running backs that can do it.
And I just don't think USC can handle that. They clearly couldn't against Utah.
They barely could against Oregon State.
Yeah. So,
but
I'm still riding with the Trojans.
Our boy Cam at LA Monroe.
Have we decided who our team of the year for next year will be? We'll decide that before the season starts. Got it.
Yeah, we'll decide that before the season.
So Southern Miss needs to win this.
We got to only do group of five.
Yeah, group of five.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I think we had agreed upon that before. But yeah, so it looks like they need to win this and to make it a bowl, and I will give them the win. Go Southern Miss.
I'm going Southern Miss too. I mean, and I hope Cam has a really good game this game so he can prove himself and become
finish off Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year.
No, Sun Belt.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Sun Belt. My apologies.
I'm hoping Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year. I think he probably has Special Teams Player of the Year and lock already. Yeah. But a big game from him would be awesome, and bowl eligible. We love it.
Hey, you know what? Our boy Cam makes the bowl game. Hey, all of us need to watch that game. So give me Southern Miss to the damn top, baby.
Okay. And then our game of the week. Finally, we're taking this a long ass time to get to finish these pick'ems. Number 3 Michigan at number 2 Ohio State. Whoever wins this goes to the Big Ten championship. Loser probably still has a decent chance of making the playoff. It just depends.
It'd probably be if Ohio State loses, then they would have the better chance.
Probably. Michigan, I think, if TCU wins and then they win their conference, they'll probably make it. Michigan. Okay, if Michigan loses, does that get an LSU somehow beats Georgia? Will LSU then make it?
They'll put
somehow.
Them in, yeah.
They'll put them in first.
Wait. If Michigan loses this game,
if Michigan loses this game, they're 11-11. They're 11-1, and then LSU beats Georgia somehow in the SEC championship.
It depends on what USC does.
Oh, yeah.
It depends on what USC does.
No, I think you have to put. You can't. You
have
have
to put LSU. You have to put LSU.
The only reason I say that is because USC, out of any team in the top 6 right now, top 7, top 8, has the toughest remaining schedule of any team vying for a playoff spot. They had to play UCLA, Notre Dame, a ranked Oregon team probably in the Pac-12 title. So that would be a win against number 13, number 12 UCLA at the time, number 15 Notre Dame, and then a number
I'm not saying
Oregon.
They'd be left out, though. I think it would end up being number 1. I think it would be number 1 Ohio State, probably number 2 LSU, number 3 USC, and number 4 Georgia. I think is how it would line up.
You think they'd leave an undefeated TCU out?
Unfortunately.
Again? Dude, that
unfortunately, I think I don't think you would have a choice because you can't leave Georgia out of the SEC. At this point, if Georgia beats Georgia Tech, Georgia is going to be in the playoff no matter.
I feel like in that position you'd probably have to take TCU over USC just because of the strength of schedule.
Okay, I was just doing a quick hypothetical. I didn't mean to go way.
Oh no, you're good.
It's that time of the year, Connor.
I have to take a dump. So let's hurry the fuck up.
It's that time of the year, man. I'm taking Ohio. Okay, square.
Square.
I can't.
All these squares
yeah.
make a circle.
Oh.
All these squares make a circle.
Yeah, UJ is in no matter what. I'm taking Ohio State in this game without Corum or Edwards. It's sad because I like Michigan, but I think Ohio State is going to end up winning at the end.
Yeah, give me OSU. And I told our boy Phil, because he asked me for a score prediction. I said 42-24. So I'm going to stick with that. Give me the Buckeyes.
Give me the Buckeyes. I just think Michigan, they won last year. It
was going to be tough enough even if they had Blake Corum. But now that they don't have Blake Corum.
And McCarthy's not good enough to do it by himself.
He's going to get killed in this game. He's going to probably be sacked 5 times.
Yeah. Okay, and our one ticket. Oh my God!
$1 ticket game.
And our one ticket dollar game.
Our last $1 ticket game of the year.
Yes, Akron at Northern Illinois. The Fighting. What was his name? Who's the quarterback when they went 12-0?
Lynch.
John Lynch. Or no, was it?
No, it wasn't John Lynch. It was.
Was it Paxton Lynch? No, he was at Memphis.
It was something Lynch.
Was it Justin Lynch?
No. Oh God!
I need to check this.
Jordan Lynch,
maybe.
When they went, was this 2013 when they were undefeated?
2012, I believe.
It was Jordan Lynch.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it was Jordan Lynch. Yeah. Oh yeah, and they were 12-2 when they were 12-0 and finished 12-2, and he finished third in the Heisman voting.
Yeah, he was the dude that had 90 rushing touchdowns in his career or some shit like that.
Yeah, he was.
Didn't they get blown out by Florida State in the bowl game?
Probably.
Yeah, something like that.
No, that would have been 2013, so that wouldn't have been the bowl game. No, that's 2012. So
but the nice thing is Northern Illinois, their new quarterback is Lombardi, Rocky Lombardi.
That's a sick name.
The former Michigan State quarterback.
That actually is a pretty good nickname, or not nickname, but name. Sweet. Okay.
So who are you guys going with?
Give me the Fighting Jordan Lynches.
Lucas?
Or the Fighting Corey Davises.
Yeah.
You got to go with Akron.
Sorry.
Davis.
That's Western Michigan. Sorry, that was Western Michigan. My apologies.
Come on, Lucas. We got to go with the Zips, man.
I can't, man. I can't. I have to go Northern Illinois. I just don't want to lose that bad to Connor. I have a feeling that we didn't. The only ones that we picked differently are ones that I could very easily miss.
Wait, Brock Osweiler works for ESPN?
Yeah, you didn't know that? He's been calling games the last couple of years.
Oh.
When they show him on the thing, they have to zoom out really far because he's 10 feet tall.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say because his neck is so damn long.
You know he's 6'8".
Yeah, he's a tall dude.
Yeah, why do you think he sucked in the NFL?
He was too tall.
Hey, he stole money from the Texans, and that's all I care about.
No, he stole money from the Broncos too.
Mostly from the Broncos, and then you traded him to the.
And the Texans agreed to pay it.
Texans traded him to Cleveland.
So I wonder, are they still paying him?
Probably.
Because he had a long contract.
Probably. It's probably deferred payment at this point.
Oh, man.
In 2013, Jordan Lynch had 23 rushing touchdowns.
Holy crap.
By the way.
Wow. Nice.
Anyways.
I mean, okay. So give me – go Northern Illinois. Give me the Fighting Jordan Lynches.
Oh.
Hey, we're done. 2.5 hours, baby.
Hey, you know
Finally!
what? So the next show we will do – think about this, guys. The next show we will do will probably be the shortest of the year because – it'll be
for all three of us because it's just championship games.
It's only going to be a couple games.
You have to include. We have to include Army Navy because that's the only game of the next week.
And we also I'm going to add the whole. We need to do our Heisman top 5.
Oh yeah, we need to do that. We forgot.
Yeah, we've been forgetting to do that, but
we'll do it the last week.
Short show, man. It'll be a short show next week
for the three of us because you and Ryan, you and I have had an hour-long show.
And you know what? Also, I'm looking forward to the best of championship Saturday video because that'll only be like fucking 9 games.
5
Super
minutes.
short. A couple
Yeah.
It's super short, relatively speaking.
2 songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
This has been no, it'll be one song. It'll be one song.
One like
Okay.
8-minute song.
Exactly. No,
It'll
you
be
just do
alright.
master. You just do master of puppets for the full 8 minutes and 45 seconds or however long it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So try and get this out as quickly as possible. For Lucas, for Ryan, for Connor, this has been the Week 0 podcast. We are out here in under 2.5 hours. See you next week for the shortest time ever. For the shortest stream ever.